You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
Let the good times roll with the fun of Kernel Baseball in The Zone.
Bring your family, meet your friends. This is where the fun never ends. Everybody knows when you're at the game. The good times roll. Hey, Kernels, let the good times roll. Get around the Kernels, let the good times roll.
With the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, here's the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers.
Welcome to one of the jewels of the Davenport Riverfront, John O'Donnell Stadium. We're here, the Kernels are, to try to gain a split in our four-game series with the swing of the Quad Cities. The Kernels were drubbed here yesterday 14-2 and hope to bounce back from that thrashing with Bill Edwards taking the hill this afternoon. He'll be opposed by right-hander Mike Parisi for the swing. Up next on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show on this chilly, cloudy Sunday afternoon, the winner in the Kernel opening game here on Thursday night, Jesse Smith. He's a native of Lincoln, Nebraska. Jesse Smith is with us next. You're listening to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications Triple Play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
On a cool Sunday afternoon, the Kernels aim for a split in their four-game set with the swing of the Quad Cities, and the reason the Kernels are in a position to gain a split with the win here today is the terrific start Thursday night on the hill by Jesse Smith. He's our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest, and Jesse, I know you've kind of been chomping at the bit, but also very patient in your quest to get into this starting rotation, and things worked real well for you Thursday night here.
Yeah, I was happy to get the opportunity to get a chance to start. I think more comfortable as a starter, and I was happy to pitch well enough to allow our team to get a win. I think I kind of set the tone for the relief pitchers, and they came in and did an outstanding job out of the bullpen, too. So
you can relate to a starter who blanks a team over 5 innings. As a relief pitcher, you want to keep that good pitching going when you come out of the bullpen. Your 5 innings of scoreless starting, you handed over to the bullpen, and they followed suit.
Yeah, definitely. I think the key for them, they came in and they threw strikes, and I established working inside to all the batters, and I think that really opened up the strike zone for them to pitch away from them. I didn't really pitch away that well, but just the fact that I was coming inside, it allowed them to maybe make more mistakes and go away and keep the hitters looking away and in, and they were uncomfortable. So,
Jesse, you said establishing the inner half, and that's something that scouts talk about. It's something that big league pitching coaches harp on, yet it seems to be a difficult thing to do at this level. Some say it's because aluminum bats are used in the amateur ranks before you sign professionally. Others say it's because hitters kind of have the upper hand now, and they'll charge the mound if they feel they're being thrown at. There's a vast difference between throwing at someone and getting in on their hands.
Oh, definitely. I think if you can't pitch inside as a pitcher, you're not going to be successful because when the hitter gets comfortable, he leans out over the plate, and then he looks for anything middle away, and then he tries to drive it the opposite way or tries to hit it up the middle. And the key is to pitching inside. If you can't pitch inside, like I said, you're not going to be successful.
Did you learn that from experience, from people coaching you, from reading some of the books your dad and brother have given you as gifts? How did you learn that lesson?
Well, I think it was a combination of Well, past experiences, one, pitching inside, you can see the success that I've had, or I can see the success I've had as pitching inside, and also listening to managers harp on it, major league, announcers, they talk about it, and it just makes sense, too. If you understand the game between the pitcher and the hitter, you got to understand that you got to pitch in and make your pitches away that more effective.
You had a couple of comebackers right off the batter's fists on Thursday night. You had a good help at first base. Ben Johnson made some nice plays where you helped him by covering. When you know that you're pitching inside, Jesse, can you hear it off the bat, kind of a clunking sound, or do you hope to hear a broken bat, or do you want to see one of those weak comebackers? What do you know? How are you sure that you're getting in where you want to get in?
Well, I think for me, it's a matter of me when I'm focusing on the target, on the glove, and I'm hitting the spot that day, I can see it when it's crossing the plate and I'm throwing it where I want to, and I can tell he's not getting his arms extended, and he is, there's a sound, too, of it coming off the part of the handle, and so you can tell when the hitter is uncomfortable and you're getting inside on him, too, because some of the reactions that they were having, they would step out of the box and look at the umpire and say, oh, that's not, they're probably saying that's not a strike, and I'm like, yeah, it's a strike, and so on those days when I know I'm located inside, they don't have a chance against me. That's how confident I feel.
Confidence is what Jesse Smith is exuding in his second season as a Colonel, and Jesse, you've come a long way in your pro career, and yet now you're getting the opportunity you were hoping to get to be a starter. It's never easy. Tell our listeners about how hard you worked in the off season and then the little setback or bump in the road that you suffered in spring training.
Well, in the off season, I moved down to Arizona to be able to get some long toss and outside in the nice weather down there in Arizona, and I was throwing 6 days a week. I was throwing a couple bullpens a week, starting about mid-January to get ready for spring training. Well, my first game in spring training, I pitched 2 innings and I got bicep tendonitis. So I didn't pitch again for about 2.5 weeks. So I put in all that hard work in the off season, along with the weight training I did, but all the stuff that I did to prepare, and it's kind of frustrating only getting to throw. I think I threw 6 innings in all spring training. Most guys were between, let's say, 12 and 15. So that definitely hurts your development and the opportunity to go where you want to go as a minor league baseball player, as far as the certain levels.
Jesse Smith telling us about his start on Thursday. He helped propel the Kernels to a 4-1 victory here in Davenport against the Swing, and then he's told us about how valuable it is to pitch inside, as well as the tremendous work he did in the offseason in Arizona. We're going to pick things up with Jesse's offseason when we return to Davenport here on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. You're in the zone.
For the 7th consecutive year, Toyota Financial Services is encouraging elementary students throughout our community to read this summer. Toyota Financial Services believes that inspiring children to read brings families together, fosters imagination, and enhances knowledge. The Gazette shares Toyota Financial Services' belief in the value of reading. That's why they've teamed up to recognize and reward this summer's readers for their fabulous accomplishments. Toyota Financial Services and the Gazette, proud to stand with our community's children to enrich their lives.
Have you heard the great news? Mediacom has stepped to the plate to give girls and boys the chance to do cool stuff with the Kernels and at the stadium. As a member of the Mediacom Little Sluggers, you'll get to have an autograph session with the Kernels, take a tour of the stadium, watch a movie from the outfield grass, take batting practice with the Kernels, and participate in a story time with the players. Join the fun of the Mediacom Little Sluggers by registering online at Kernels.com. That's Kernels.com.
Colonel right-hander Jesse Smith visiting with us before the final game here of a 4-game set in Davenport. And Jesse, you told us before the break here on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show that you decided to move from Nebraska, Lincoln, out to Arizona. You did it for a couple of reasons, and you really liked Arizona.
Oh, yeah. I mean, who wouldn't like 60, 70-degree weather in the wintertime where I come from? There's snow and it's cold and the wind's blowing hard like it is today. And there's so many opportunities for all kinds of things down there, for especially baseball, working out. I made friends with this guy that I met. We worked out at the high school he went to, and I was throwing against batters live at least 3 or 4 times in the off season. And it's just totally different the whole world of playing sports outdoors is down there is different than in the Midwest.
Do you like it well enough, Jesse, by what you experienced in the off season to plan on going back again this off season, or is that too far ahead to think about?
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely going to go back. I love it there. It's awesome.
Out of paradise.
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoy being down there, and I love the warm weather. So.
Jesse, finally, we have so many Cub fans in eastern Iowa, and we're playing the affiliate of the Cardinals, and I'm a Cardinal fan next to the Angels, of course, and you grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska with WGN piped into your home through Cablevision, and that is a big part of your youth.
Yeah, definitely. I grew up watching the Cubs every day in the summertime. Since we get the Cubs, WGN every day, I was always at least watching half the game, and so I grew up I remember probably 86, 87 were my earliest memories of the Cubs, and Greg Maddox played for them, and I really enjoyed watching them. That's where I really learned a lot about baseball, just by listening to Steve Stone and Harry Carey and them talking about, the game. And
you really can. It's unfortunate that Steve Stone was kind of booted out of the Cub family because they felt that he was too critical of the Cubs, and you may have an opinion about that. It's hard to lose a guy like Steve Stone because you're right, he's almost like a coach or an instructor when he does a telecast.
Oh, definitely. The guy knows the game. He won a Cy Young Award, I believe, as a pitcher, and he knows what he's talking about. It's unfortunate that they lost him. I think, he obviously wants what's best for the Cubs, and I think he has his opinion just like anybody else would, but he didn't think they were going in the right direction with the team.
Well, Jesse, thank you so much on this Sunday. I know you have your jacket on because it is kind of cool and brisk with that wind. Thank you for sharing this time with us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. As a fellow that's gotten to know Cedar Rapids, there are 2 new Zio Giano's spaghetti houses, and I want you to redeem this certificate at either one of them, Jesse. One is in Marion on the main drag, and the second new Zio Giano's restaurant is on the southwest side, just a fly ball from the ballpark on Williams Boulevard, southwest. Zio Giano's has been locally owned, family run for 20 years, and they have the best thing going as far as pasta in Cedar Rapids. Jesse Smith, thank you so much.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
That's Jesse Smith, who helped hurl the Kernels to victory in Game 1 of this series on Thursday night. If the Kernels can take the series finale this afternoon, we come away with a split with the swing, plus a 4-4 record on our 8-game road trip to Lansing and here to Quad City. Colonel Director of Media Relations Todd Brummelkamp and I will be back in a minute to set this afternoon's starting lineups. Kernels in Quad City, here in the zone.
Eastern Iowans agree. The nice spring weather makes it a pleasure to be outdoors. Enhance your pleasure this year with our backyard beautification project. Let PEX Landscaping design and install the perfect landscape for your backyard, an outdoor space that's just right for you and your family. PEX carries the best quality and hardiest nursery stock available. Combine that with a wide variety of landscape products and expert advice, and you'll have the yard of your dreams. Just imagine what it could be. Want a skillfully built retaining wall? Perhaps a brick or cobblestone patio. No landscape is too large or too small for the pros at PEX. Call or stop in and arrange a time for your free estimate. Don't let another spring go by without new landscaping for your backyard. Beautiful, affordable landscapes designed and installed by PEX. PEX Flower Shop and Garden Center, Nursery and Landscaping, corner of Blairsbury and Edgewood Road Northeast, landscaping Eastern Iowa since 1956.
With overcast skies and a gray Mississippi River overlooking the center and right field wall here at historic John O'Donnell Stadium, a jewel of the Davenport Riverfront, we welcome you into Kernel Baseball. John Rogers and Todd Brummelkamp, glad you're with us, and let's set the starting lineups as the swing of the Quad City have gotten well at the Kernel expense the last 2 ball games that come from behind. Dramatic win Friday night 5-4 to even the series at a game apiece, and then after a scoreless first 4 innings yesterday, the swing erupted for 6 in the 5th inning en route to a 14-2 drubbing of the Kernels. Their record's 10-11. The Kernels have slipped to 9-13, but we're still 7-7 on the road this year, and also with a win here today could go 4-4 on this 8-game road trip. Joe Cunningham is out to home plate, so is Kernel skipper Bobby Magallanes, and here are the starting lineups. First for the swing, Class A Midwest League affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals. Matt Lemansek leads off the Speedsters in left field. Batting second, switch hitting shortstop for Quad City, Matt Shepard. Jarrett Hoffpauir has 3 doubles in this series, 8 total this season, second highest in the league. Hoffpauir is at second base, batting third for the Swing. Batting cleanup for Quad City is their big first baseman, Mike Ferris. Gary Hammond is playing his 600th game as a professional. Hammond homered here yesterday. He'll bat fifth and serve as the designated hitter. Catching for the Quad City Ball Club is Brandon Yarborough. Yarborough will bat sixth. Hitting seventh is Jake Mullinax. Mullinax at third base. It's Wes Swackhammer hitting eighth for the Swing. He's in right field. And batting ninth in center field for Quad City is Simon Williams. On the hill is Mike Parisi. Mike Parisi is from Manhattan College. He's 22 years old, and he was a Redbird 9th-round draft pick last year. Mike Parisi was 1-1 in 6 starts with Peoria. He started his pro career last year with the New Jersey Cardinals, and in 7 starts he was 4-2. Parisi this season is 1-2 with a 4.13 earned run average. Mike Parisi, a no decision in his last start. It was here at John O'Donnell Stadium Tuesday against Dayton in a Quad City 6-5 win. Allen Motor Company is proud to present the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup. The last day of Allen's spring cleanup sale is tomorrow. They're open till 9 o'clock, and Todd Brummelkamp, there are a couple of great reasons for folks to clean up on great deals all over the campus at Allen's before the sale ends tomorrow at 9.
That's right, John. They've got a 2005 GM Sierra regular cab 2-wheel drive, $300 a month with lease. Also the 2005 Buick LaCrosse for $21,710. That's the all-new dream car of 2005. Also the 2005 GMC Yukon XL. You save $10,000 during the spring cleanup sale at Allen Motor Company. That's I-380 Boyson Road, exit 25 in Cedar Rapids. It's your chance to clean up on great deals all over campus. With the Allen Motor Company starting lineup, it's Sean Rodriguez playing center field today and not shortstop. Center field leading off. He is number 8, batting first. Batting second will be Nate Sutton. He has hit .556 in this 3-game series so far to lead the Kernels. He bats second and plays second. Freddy Sandoval hitting .455 against swing pitching will bat third and play third. Drew Toussaint is the cleanup hitter today in left field for the Kernels. Ben Johnson, the former catcher, is batting fifth and playing first base. Aaron Peel is the designated hitter, batting sixth for the Kernels. Jordan Renz spells Warner Madrigal in right field today. He will bat seventh. That's Renz, not Madrigal, in right field today. Tommy Duenas is doing the catching today after a day off yesterday. He bats eighth. And Billy Boyer, the do-it-all utility infielder for the Kernels, gets into lineup for the first time against the Swing. He will bat ninth and play shortstop. The starting pitcher for the Kernels today, a hard luck loser, well, not really hard luck, against Lansing. He was roughed up in his last outing, is Bill Edwards. Bill is 1-1 this year with a 4.50 ERA. And that's the Allen Motor Company starting lineup. And, John, we will pause for the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Singing of the Star-Spangled Banner on a brisk, if not chilly, Sunday afternoon. We hope the sunshine will find us soon, but right now it's overcast and feels more like late October
than early May. That's right, we're into the month of May, and the Kernels hope to start it with a win in Davenport to even their series with the Swing and split the series at 2 games apiece. Our in-studio engineer is Sean. We'll be back in a moment to enjoy the action with you here from Davenport. Kernel Baseball in the zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
The wind is blowing out at a very, very hard rate towards left field. It has the flag atop the grass slope seating berm beyond the left center field wall, almost completely stiff as a board. And the Kernels will send up Sean Rodriguez, Nate Sutton, and Freddy Sandoval to face 5'11" second-year pro Mike Parisi. Parisi, P-A-R-I-S-I. His battery mate is Brandon Yarborough. The Kernels are in their gray knit road uniforms with red numbers trimmed in white. Sean Rodriguez steps in as the leadoff batter. Richard Giannotti's not in the lineup this afternoon. Neither is Warner Madrigal. Sean was 1 for 4 yesterday. He's 2 for 12 in the series. And the game's first pitch comes at 2:02 local time, and it's a ball low, according to Jeff Lascola. Anderson and Brown Eye Care proud to present our umpiring crew. Lascola behind the plate, Nick Monaco on the diamond. Sean cuts through a fastball and misses strike 1.
Sean also wearing number 28 today, the gray top, as opposed to his usual number 8.
We got a visit from the Kernel clubhouse manager explaining that dilemma as the curveball from Parisi's taken in the dirt for ball 2 to Sean. Sean accidentally left his gray jersey in the Kernel clubhouse, so the Kernel equipment manager was able to put on a foreign number on Sean's back. There's ball 3 low, and Sean Rodriguez, the Kernel leadoff batter with a .240 average, is ahead 3-1. Sean has a homer. He stole a base yesterday. He has 3 RBIs, and he's aboard on a walk. Mike Parisi, 1-2 on the year with a 4.13 ERA, has issued a leadoff pass to Sean Rodriguez. Parisi's pitched 24 innings in 4 previous starts, and that's an average of 6 innings per start. He's yielded 31 hits in 24 frames. Fan 19, only walked 5. The league hitting .307 against him. Nate Sutton sat out yesterday's Kernel loss. He's had a terrific series, and strike 1 is into Nate. Sutton is 5 for 9 in this series.
That's a .556 batting average, which is the best on the team so far in this series.
A throw to first, and Rodriguez, who stole his 5th base of the season yesterday, tiptoes back into the bag, standing up. The Swing are in their white home uniforms with powder blue socks, powder blue hats, and powder blue sleeves, burnt orange numbers on the back. They also have their names in block letters in black above those burnt orange numbers. Ball 2 is downstairs to Nate Sutton, left-handed batter. Overall, with the great series here in Davenport, Nate's hitting .214. Those of you that love tuning into the zone around the clock like Todd and I do, later tonight in the zone you'll hear a marquee matchup from our nation's capital, the Mets and the Nationals. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball.
We've got a little ESPN Zone Sunday afternoon baseball here in Davenport, but today we got some Whitecaps out on the Mississippi. We talked about that yesterday. Much windier and much chillier today.
Temperature in the low 50s. There goes Rodriguez, and Sutton lifts one into left. Matt Lemansek doesn't have to move a step as he makes the play for the first out of the inning. Great to see Bobby Magallanes after incurring a real pounding yesterday, 14-2. He has his club on their toes, running in the first inning. Nate Sutton, though, has flown out to left for the first out of the first inning. Rodriguez has to return to first. Sean was all the way down near second when Lemansek made the catch in left. Now switch hitting Freddy Sandoval at the plate. What a series he's had. 5 for 11. Overall, there goes the runner, and a swing and a miss to throw to second, and Sean beats it with a head-first slide. The shortstop, Matt Shepard, took the toss from catcher Brandon Yarborough, but not in time to get Sean Rodriguez. I think Sandoval took a changeup, Todd, and that may have been the difference that Sean needed to steal that base.
Well, that's excellent scouting if they felt that Parisi would throw a changeup on the first pitch, especially after Rodriguez was moving during Sutton's at-bat.
Now Freddy Sandoval, the first pitch was a strike. Freddy takes low and away a fastball. Here at John O'Donnell Stadium, it's 400 feet to dead center, a dark blue 12-foot high padded wall in center field. Above it, a 20-foot high dark blue net that provides an ideal batter's eye. And the delivery from Parisi's low and away. It's 2-1 to Freddy Sandoval, who steps out. Justin Bachman coaching at first for the Kernels, and skipper Bobby Magallanes at third base. They're both wearing their Colonel red jackets with long gray sleeves.
And batting gloves, the baseball equivalent of isotoners.
A deep drive to right by Freddy. Way back at the wall she goes, and it is off the wall for extra bases. Rounding third is Sean Rodriguez. They have to hold him there. A booming double by Freddy Rodriguez. Freddy Sandoval. Freddy crushed it. Hit it deep into the right center field alley. When it left the bat, I thought it was out of here, but it hit high up on the 12-foot high wall, and unfortunately, Sean Rodriguez could not make it home, even though that ball traveled 385 feet in the air between Simon Williams and Wes Swackhammer. Todd, I thought that ball, when it left the bat, had a chance to get out of here.
John, the same situation we saw yesterday when Aaron Peel had to remain at second base and did not score on a fly ball out to right center field. You have to wait and make sure that ball's not caught. Otherwise, you'll get doubled off on the throw-in. Unfortunate for the Kernels, but they're getting things going here, and the cleanup batter, Drew Toussaint, who's behind 0-1 in the count, will look to make the swing pay here, hopefully driving in 2 Kernels here in the top of the first.
Infield is back. The swing will trade an out for a run. Here's a curve at the knees, and Drew looks back at the plate umpire, Jeff Lascola. Strike 2 to Drew Toussaint. He didn't play in yesterday's Kernel loss. Drew is 2 for 10 in the series, hitting .308 since joining the club a week ago.
Drew hit a team-high 12 home runs last year.
Ground ball off the pitcher's glove. A run is home, and Toussaint is on with a base hit. And on to third, Freddy Sandoval. Sean Rodriguez, a terrific base-running play from third. That ball was hit hard up the middle. Somehow Mike Parisi slowed it down. It then dribbled behind the mound and died on the grass. Rodriguez scooted home to make it 1-0 Kernels. Freddy Sandoval went to third, and that's a base hit for Drew Toussaint. And the Kernels lead it 1-0, have a chance for more with runners at first and third. Only one out. RBI number 6 for Toussaint. Let's see if Ben Johnson, who normally excels in these RBI situations, can come through. Ball 1 in the dirt, almost a wild pitch. Brandon Yarborough prevented that. Todd, that was a hard-hit smash by Drew Toussaint on an 0-2 pitch.
And we've talked about this on air and both privately. The grass kept very long during this series, and that ball got over the pitcher's mound and just died before it could get to short.
A high fly ball into shallow left. We're going to have a play at the plate. Sandoval will tag. He'll try to score, and he will be safe. Matt Lemansek's throw was cut off near the mound by the first baseman, not by the first baseman, by the third baseman, Jake Mullinax, and it's 2-0 Kernels. How about Ben Johnson coming through with a much-needed sacrifice fly to left? And the Kernels have given Bill Edwards a 2-run cushion here in the first half inning.
This is exactly the way that you want to start a game after losing 14-2 the day before. Your confidence should be soaring right now down in that dugout. And Aaron Peel will see if he can keep things going. Aaron has to really like that stiff breeze blowing out to left.
A throw to first, and Drew Toussaint dives headlong back into the bag. Pops up with a little bit of a chuckle for his first base coach, Justin Bachman. 2-0 Kernels. Here in the top of the first inning, we're facing a pitching staff ranked 12th in the 14-team Midwest League. The pitching staff of the Swing has a 4.31 earned run average.
How cold is it in Davenport today? Well, base umpire Nick Monaco looks like he's about ready to head up the street and rob the U.S. Bank that's on 2nd Street here in Davenport. He's got a mask and gloves on.
He does look like an old Quad City River Bandit. You're right, Todd. He is really bundled up in that mask. In fact, I can't even see his eyes.
Nick must be from someplace where it's a little warmer than May 1st in the Quad Cities.
A curve is a strike to Peel. Now another Uncle Charlie drops in. 0-2 to Aaron. Aaron Peel, 1 for 3 yesterday, walked and scored in the 6th inning to cut the Swing lead to 6-2. It's 2-0 Kernels here in the top of the first today. Aaron hitting .250 on the young season. A curve, and this one he knuckles foul off the end of the bat beyond the Kernel first base dugout.
3 curves in a row. I got to think that Parisi's trying to set Peel up for something here, and possibly inside, to see if he can catch Aaron off guard. That 3rd curve certainly did, as he swung the bat just late enough to foul that pitch off.
Drew Toussaint leads away at first, being held by Mike Ferris. A pitch out. I could see that coming, an 0-2 count, and the Swing pitched out to Aaron Peel, ball 1.
So could Drew Toussaint. He quickly headed back to first base before the ball was even in the catcher's mitt.
The outfield plays Aaron Peel, a right-handed hitter, to hit the other way. The center fielder, Simon Williams, is pulled way around into the gap in right center. There's ball 2, a pitch out, and Brandon Yarborough lost the handle. The Kernels are second in the league in stolen bases, 31 steals. We've only been caught 15 times, and boy, does that bode well that the Swing are more concerned about Toussaint than they are Aaron Peel. There goes Drew, and a strike called to end the inning. A slider at the knees, and Aaron Peel down on strikes. Drew Toussaint was going on the play, but it doesn't matter. It does matter that the Kernels strike for 2 runs. On 2 hits in the first half inning. No swing errors. The Kernels leave a runner aboard. And after 1 half inning, good news from the banks of the Mississippi. The Kernels lead the Swing 2-0 with Quad City coming up for the first time. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
To make your landscaping dreams become a reality, see the experts at Keen's Material. Retaining walls, custom patios, walkways, and steps, Keen's Material has all the hardscape elements needed to complete your landscaping project. Need ideas? Visit Keen's Outdoor Display Area on 12th Avenue Southwest to see over 100 products showcased. Let your property reach its full potential with help from the experts at Keen's Material. Visit Keen's in Cedar Rapids, Coralville, and Eldridge, or on the web at keensmaterial.com.
Every autumn, Nate Turner embarks on a mission to explain football to women. Patiently, he tries to clarify the West Coast offense and why it's normal for one man to pat another on the fanny. Maybe this season he'll break through.
Think that's a waste of energy? You should see what your home is doing. Get Great Stuff Insulating Foam Sealant. It fills the cracks where heat and cold air escape. Look for Great Stuff in the red and yellow can anywhere home improvement products are sold.
You know, there are zillions of computers out there, but they all take you to the same spot, the Internet. So why would you pay AOL almost $24 a month when you can get there on Net Zero for only $9.95? With Net Zero, you get reliable, unlimited access with spam control and email virus protection, all for less than half the cost of AOL. Net Zero even ranks higher in customer satisfaction. Go to netzero.com or call 877-NET-ZERO to sign up and start saving today.
Todd told you that the big spring cleanup sale at Allen's lasts till tomorrow evening at 9 o'clock, and our big 8-game homestand coincides with Allen's spring cleanup sale. We start an 8-game homestand tomorrow, the first of 4 against Beloit. We'll have a noon game for you to finish that series. Cinco de Mayo, a noon start on Thursday the 5th of May, and we'll have all sorts of fun, delectable Mexican drinks and food fare for you on Thursday at noon. Matt Lemansek hitting .197 on the season. Right-handed batter is first up against 6'4", 24-year-old right-hander Bill Edwards. And Bill's first pitch is taken upstairs, ball 1. Edwards was a 13-2 loser his last start. That was game 1 of a doubleheader Tuesday in Lansing. 4 innings pitched. He gave up 8 runs on 7 hits. There's a strike, a breaking pitch, belt high. Lemancic was 2 for 4 yesterday. Drove in a pair of runs. Matt is 4 for 12 in the series.
Bill looks like Spider-Man out there with those long red sleeves and long red socks on.
A slow roller to the right side and a terrific pickup on the grass at shallow second by Nate Sutton, and he gets the speedster Matt Lemancic. And there's that note you made earlier in this inning, the top of the first, Todd. That grass is thick on the infield. That ball, albeit was squirted off the fists of the batter, but it rolled slowly towards Sutton, and Nate almost didn't get to it in time.
It was a tough play for Sutton, but he was smart enough to realize that the grass was short and he needed to come charging on it. Great play by Nate Sutton.
The switch hitter, Matt Shepard, steps in, and batting left-handed, he takes a strike from Bill Edwards. Bill is 1-1 on the year. In 18 innings, he's given up only 17 hits. The right-hander fires high, and it's ball 1 to Shepard. Matt is hitting .254.
John, you were in Lansing. Is there anything that you can attribute Bill's struggles to against the Lugnuts?
Not at all, other than some bad luck. He hit 3 batters, and those 3 hit batters really hurt him. He goes backdoor on Shepard with a slider. It's outside for ball 2. Matt Shepard, in yesterday's ball game, was 1 for 5. He punches one into center for a base hit. That was a good pitch by Bill Edwards, but Matt Shepard fought it off and lined it into center for a 1-out single. That brings in one of the hottest hitters in the league, Jarrett Hoffpauir. Hoffpauir is batting .301. He has 5 hits in this series, 5 hits and 12 at bats. He was 2 for 5 yesterday. He drove in a run and he scored a run.
You can tell it's still early when the 10th best hitter in the league is hitting .350. Hoffpauir has a way to go to break into that top 10, but if he keeps going the way he's done against the Kernels, he will eventually.
Edwards slings one in low, ball 1. Todd, you bring up a good point. Bill Edwards does look like Spider-Man. He's such a trim, lean fella, and he wears his red socks up high, and he's wearing a long-sleeve red shirt underneath his gray Kernel top. He pumps a fastball in on the inside edge, and it's 1-1 to Jarrett Hoffpauir. The first base coach for the Swing is Keith Mitchell, and he has a word with the runner at first, Matt Shepard. The Swing is ranked 11th. They're tied for 11th in the league in stolen bases. They have 15 steals in 21 games. A throw to first, and the runner back, no tag by Ben Johnson. 2-0 Kernels. We're in the bottom of the first. The Swing is ranked 12th in the league in hitting. They're batting .234 as a team. They've belted 16 home runs. That's 3rd highest in the league. Hoffpauir, a right-handed batter, waits a throw to first, and Shepard just got back in that time.
These two pitching staffs, John, fairly equal. Cedar Rapids ERA now 4.27. The Quad Cities at 4.31. So I think the Kernels are in good shape getting on the board first today, especially the way Edwards is looking so far.
A pitch out, and then Tommy Duenas unloads a throw to first with the runner back, and the count to Jarrett Hoffpauir is 2 balls, 1 strike. An infield this afternoon of Sandoval at third for the Kernels, Billy Boyer at short, Nate Sutton at second, Ben Johnson holds the runner at first. Shepard draws a throw, and he's backhand first. The outfield has Drew Toussaint playing deep and left, Sean Rodriguez in center. Sean is so versatile as a 20-year-old. And in right field, Jordan Renz today, the catcher, Tommy Duenas, who sets up on the outer half. And a pitch drilled down the line in right. Renz is on the run, and Jordan won't get it. It falls for a base hit. I'll be darned. That ball had a lot of hang time, and Jordan Renz just couldn't get there. It dropped at his feet, fair by about 8 feet, and the Swing have runners at first and second with 1 out. And Bill Edwards, trying to protect an early 2-0 lead, will hope for a pop-up strikeout or double play. We can categorize Hoffpauir's hit, Todd, as a Texas leaguer.
That's correct, and I'm not sure even if Warner Madrigal was out there that he would have gotten to that ball, but Jordan Renz just a step too slow. Otherwise, we'd have a second out on the board, and Shepard would still be at first.
We need a double play, strikeout, or pop-up as a change-up is in on the outside edge. Strike 1 to Big Mike Ferris. Ferris is 6'2", 220. A St. Louis second-round pick last year out of Miami University in Ohio.
Well, Ferris is a strikeout candidate. He struck out 44 times in 146 at-bats last year at New Jersey.
Mike takes strike 2 from Bill Edwards. In Bill's last start in Lansing, he went 4 innings, giving up 8 runs on 7 hits. He fanned 4 lug nuts, hit 3 batters. Todd had asked me if I could attribute Bill's subpar outing in Lansing on Tuesday to anything in particular, and the thing that hurt him the most were the hit batters. Here's a little nubber foul and a piece of the bat. I don't think, nope, Ferris doesn't know yet. Now he does. Mike will march back to the third base swing dugout to get a new bat. And Todd, that Cinco de Mayo celebration this Thursday at noon will be something.
That's right. We have plenty of Mexican specialties on tap for our fans. Not on tap, but available at beer stands will be Dos Equis beer, Corona beer, and frozen margaritas. We'll have fajita burgers, south of the border pork chop sandwiches, and a 3-pack jumbo taco special available for food. And then if you want to top it off, if you have room for dessert, John and I didn't last night as we had dinner with swing broadcaster Andrew Rudnick. But if you have room for dessert, how about some deep-fried ice cream with Mexican chocolate sauce available at our ice cream stand?
A squibber to third. Sandoval loses the handle, throws to second out. The throw to first not in time. Freddy Sandoval may not have been able to turn 2 because the ball was hit softly. Matt Shepard advances to third. Sandoval did throw to Nate Sutton at second, and that forced out of Jarrett Hoffpauir at second, 5-4, the second out of the inning. I was very surprised, Todd, that Nate Sutton's throw with Hoffpauir right in on him was good enough to make it close at first. At first I thought that Sandoval might rush to third, tag the base, and then throw across the diamond, but I don't think Freddy was confident that he was close enough to the bag.
I thought Freddy would turn and tag the runner at third. I thought he was close enough to do that, but you're right, he did what he was sure of, and he was sure that he could get the runner at second base.
Ball one in the dirt, and a wild pitch saving stop by Tommy Duenas. Derry Hammond, D-E-R-R-Y, playing in his 600th game as a pro. That's right, the 25-year-old broke in with the Helena Brewers back in 1998. Here he is playing in his 600th game as a pro. He's a right-handed power hitter.
That's a hell of a career right there.
Strike one on the outside edge to big Derry Hammond. He steps out. Hammond had a 2-run blast in Quad City's 5-run 7th yesterday. He went 3 for 5. Derry's batting with runners at the corners and 2 away in the swing first inning. Swing and a miss. Bill Edwards challenged him with a chin-high fastball, and Hammond missed it, strike 2.
Doesn't appear that our speed pitch indicators working on the Quad City Times radar gun clock on the scoreboard today, but that was definitely had some pop on it as Derry waved his bat at it and couldn't hit.
Bill Edwards figured, well, you swung at the last one chin high, I'll try it again.
And he wanted it. He wanted it, but he held off, and the count goes to 2-2.
Deuces are wild. 2 out, 2 on, and that 2-2 count Todd told you about to Derry Hammond. Outfield plays Derry straight away. He's a right-handed hitter with an open stance. And he's down on strikes on a changeup. Bill Edwards fans Derry Hammond with runners at the corners to end the swing first inning scoring threat. No runs for the swing, 2 hits, there were no Colonel errors. Quad City leaves a pair, and after 1 inning, here in Davenport, it's the Colonels 2 and Quad City nothing. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
I live for you, I feed your cat, I fold your undies at the laundromat. Unless you want me to have them dry, I get paid for that. I'll work things out, spend get back. I'll shave my soul back before I meet your dad. I'll wear a turtleneck to strategically hide my tattoos if I can. I'm quitting the band, 'cause I'm winning your hand. I'm giving you all my time, but this Dr. Pepper is mine, Rich taste, forget it. This Dr. Pepper is mine. One taste and you get it. I'll shop for you, always be true. I'll never share my Dr. Pepper with you.
Hi, Dan Patrick here. You know what's sad? When a player sticks around a couple of years too long and turns into a sad caricature of himself. That's exactly what happens to your car if you don't install a fresh set of Monroe shocks at 50,000 miles. And through April 30th, you can buy a new set of Monroe shocks and get up to $80 back. That's a Hall of Fame deal that makes it much easier to replace your shocks at 50,000 miles. A lot easier, in fact, than replacing a pitcher who doesn't believe that his glory days have passed him by. Monroe, ride safe.
Actual mileage may vary depending upon driver ability, vehicle type, and the type of driving and road conditions.
The lower third of the Kernel order, and the top of the second, 2-0 Kernels. Jordan Renz broke a scoreless tie in yesterday's ball game with a fifth inning 2-out RBI single. Jordan hitting 135 on the season. Right-handed hitter, wearing batting gloves today. And he hits one a mile high behind the plate. This will carry towards the swing dugout and lands 2 rows up into a crowd this afternoon, Todd, that is really bundled up. They look like they're at a football game in late November.
Absolutely. This is in like a lion. May comes in. Unfortunate for the swing. I know they were hoping for another big weekend crowd today, but the fans that are here, they want to see baseball, and that's why they're here, even though they're bundled up.
A knee-buckling curve is a strike to Jordan, and there is a good-sized crowd for such chilly conditions, especially in the bleachers that parallel the left field line. A curve and a high drive into shallow right down the line. Coming on is Lemancic. He can't get there. The ball dribbles into shallow center, but Jordan has to hold on as the backing up the play was the shortstop, Matt Shepard. And as Tommy Duenas took a pitch for a strike, the throw by Brandon Yarborough skipped off of Jarrett Hoffpauir's glove into shallow center. And Renz has the second Kernel stolen base of the day. I love the way Bobby Magallanes is taking the ball game to the swing today.
Tommy did a good job of protecting and watching out for Jordan there as he gave a courtesy wave at that ball just to kind of throw Yarborough off behind the plate. And that may have been enough to affect the throw.
And Tommy hit the ball to the right side of the infield. A curve is in there for strike 2, 2-0 Kernels.
I would love to see Tommy get his first hit against the swing in this series right now in this at-bat.
So would I. I'd like it as much as if he could hit it on the ground to the right side of the swing infield to get Renz to third. Ooh, a fastball low and outside is taken by Tommy for ball 2. The wind, as Todd said, is really whipping around this ballpark. It's blowing out towards the big scoreboard in deep left center. That scoreboard is about as tall as a 5-story building. It's supported by brick columns, and it has a beautiful LED board in the middle of it. A curve, and it's lofted into left. Lemancic comes in a few steps and has it. Tommy Duenas was thrown off stride by that breaking pitch and lifted it into left for the first out of the inning. That means it'll take a hit from Billy Boyer or the leadoff man, Sean Rodriguez, if the Kernels are to cash in on Jordan Renz's leadoff single and his stolen base.
Well, we'll see what Billy can do here. He was, of course, the subject of our South Slope Triple Play pregame interview yesterday, and Billy talked with us very candidly about his struggles learning to hit right-handed pitchers from the right-handed side of the plate. He's hitting left-handers very well, but he's still adjusting to that right-handed curve, he said.
Because Billy gave up switch hitting in the offseason. He taps one to short. Good base running by Renz, who holds at second, and Boyer's thrown out. Billy Boyer, the number 9 hitter and shortstop today, went up swinging and bounces out to his counterpart at short, Matt Shepard. Renz held at second, and that means he's still in a position to score if Sean Rodriguez can drive him in with a base hit. Sean walked, stole second, and scored in the Kernel 2-run first inning.
Once again, Sean wearing number 28, and we'll see if he has a great game today. Maybe he'll make a permanent change. He'll do anything to get out of this slump. A fastball is a strike at the knees on the outside corner. The Swings record at home is 6-5 this season. They're 4-6 on the road and 10-11 overall. Quad City is a game and a half ahead of the Kernels, as are the Kane County Cougars. A high drive into straightaway center. That'll be easy for Simon Williams. Oh, he drifts back now. He made the catch, but it wasn't easy. That wind played havoc with it, and Williams had to adjust quickly to snare it, and that ends the Kernels' second inning. The Kernels had a runner at second, nobody out, and he never advanced. No run to hit. There were no swing errors. The Kernels leave a runner, and it's stranded 2. And after an inning and a half in Davenport, the Kernels own a 2-0 lead over Quad City.
You're enjoying Kernel Baseball this afternoon in the Zone.
If your plans include a new building for your business, church, or organization, don't settle for anything less than the quality of General Steel. General Steel will beat any steel building price of similar size and specifications. A small deposit will get your project started and lock your price in for up to 90 days. And you can delay that delivery for up to 6 months at no additional cost. We can customize your building to meet your needs, and it's engineered for your specific area. Remember, General Steel will beat any steel building price. That's our bottom line promise to you. Some restrictions apply, so call us right now for a free quote. 877-247-1580, 877-247-1580. If you need space, remember, you need the General. Call now. 877-247-1580, 877-247-1580.
What is ESPN Radio? It's not that hard. You're a sports fan? This is the sports station. It's ESPN. That means sports. The games, the experts, the analysis, the scores, the highlights, the people who know their stuff. It's good conversation. It's ESPN. It's radio. You know, the box that all the sounds come out of. At your home, in your car, where you work, even in your computer. It's everywhere you go. It's radio. It's ESPN. It's ESPN Radio. That's all it is.
Bill Edwards takes a trip on the backside of the slope on the grass halfway between the mound and second, and Bill is ready to go. He'll pitch to Brandon Yarborough, the number 6 hitter in the swing order, to open up the second inning here in Davenport, where the Kernels are playing under overcast, chilly conditions, temperature in the low 50s, but I bet the wind chill's more in the high 30s. Yarborough wraps one hard on a big hop at first to Ben Johnson. Ben trots over to the base and takes the play unassisted. Brandon Yarborough, a left-handed hitting catcher, has opened the swing second inning by offering on the first pitch and grounding out to first.
He's 0 for 8 in this series so far, so Kernel's pitching has found Brandon Yarborough's number. He's one of the few swing hitters that have struggled, especially over the course of the middle two games of this series.
Jake Mullinax tied the game at 1 in the 5th yesterday with a sacrifice fly, and he chops one foul over the head of the swing manager coaching at third. Joe Cunningham. Joe is wearing a dark blue swing jacket to try to keep warm. He, like Bobby Magallanes, is wearing batting gloves. Mullinax is a right-handed hitter. Bill's delivery is golfed into straightaway center. Sean Rodriguez doesn't have to move a step to make the play. Jake Mullinax is fly to center, and there are 2 gone quickly in the swing second inning.
Well, if you're Bill Edwards, you may want to take your teammates out for dinner tonight, or vice versa. He's working quickly and getting quick outs, and on a chilly day like this, your teammates appreciate it, but Bill also appreciates his teammates behind him making plays so that he's not stuck out there any longer than he needs to be.
Wes Swackhammer's had a big series, 5-4-11, and the left-handed batter looks at one away, ball 1. Swackhammer, a left-handed hitter out of Tulane University, hitting .224, but as I said, he has 5 hits in this series. Uh-oh, he drives one to deep right, way back at the wall, and it is off the wall. Off the wall, Wes Swackhammer narrowly missed his second home run in this series. The ball jettisoned over Jordan Renz's head. Renz was on the warning track, leapt high, and we're darn lucky, Todd, that ball didn't get out of here. That fence out there is 8 feet high in front of the grass slope seating berm in right, and I don't think that ball missed being a home run by more than a foot.
I think that ball was about 7.5 feet off the ground, John, when it bounced just above Renz's head and fell onto the dirt warning track below, but luckily for us, we do have 2 outs, and Bill Edwards has a good chance to escape this unscathed. Simon Williams at the plate.
Right-handed hitter, number 9 batter in the swing order, takes ball 1 low. Simon Williams is 4 for 11 in the series. A 2-run double in the swing 6-run 5th inning yesterday, the key blow in the game. It put Quad City ahead 3-1.
He was the hero the night before, too. He's had a heck of a series against us.
He bats from a low crouch, and there's Bill Edwards sneaking a strike in at the knees. We want to say hello to Bill's family. His father, Larry Edwards, in Memphis, emailed us recently and said he loves listening to the Kernel games, even when his son, Bill, isn't pitching. because Larry said most of these fellas played on the championship team at Provo last year, and Larry Edwards down in Memphis said in his email that he just loves listening to how the guys do each and every day and night.
If you count our boys that are on the disabled list, there are 15 members of the Provo Angels on this squad.
Ball 2 low, and now Williams takes another pitch low for ball 3. Simon Williams, boy, he has batted like a MVP in this series. 256 hitter, no homers, 4 RBIs, but the Kernels just can't seem to figure him out.
As you said, he's a 256 hitter, but he's hitting 364 in this series.
A strike at the knees runs the count full to Simon, who's from the University of Maine. 6'2", 220, but he really does bat from a rather pronounced crouch.
Not quite Ricky Henderson-esque, but he is hunched over there, very, very much so, with that maple-looking bat of his.
And he walks on the 3-2 delivery. Bill Edwards walks the number 9 hitter. A 2-out double and a walk brings up the leadoff batter for the swing, Matt Lemansek. Lemansek rolled out to second in the first inning. Bill Edwards, as Todd said, was on his way to an easy inning before who else? Wes Swackhammer drilled a pitch high off the right field wall.
John, the one thing we have learned in this series is it doesn't mean anything that we're at the bottom of the order against the swing.
Beautiful curveball.
They have
terrorized Lemansek. Yes, they have. Terrorized is the right word. There's no grandstand roof here at John O'Donnell Stadium. It's an open-air structure. 15 rows of navy blue box seats that sell for $9 a piece down below, and then down the line is a big, long bleacher section. It's just a concrete slab with a steel or aluminum plank on top of it. Those have to be cold. Ball 1 is low.
Certainly today.
Lemansek punches one foul over the Colonel first base dugout. Another unusual aspect to this ballpark is that, and Todd pointed this out Thursday night, you can walk all the way around the perimeter or circumference and never lose sight of the river.
Absolutely, and that really is the benchmark of this ballpark. John, you make an interesting point about those $9 tickets. Our most expensive ticket in Cedar Rapids is $8, and that's for premier seating in the first 8 rows of the stadium. So a really a better deal in Cedar Rapids, and we both have relatively new ballparks.
A curve is in the dirt to the leadoff batter, Lemansek. He hit .273 2 seasons ago in this league with Peoria. 2 on, 2 out, 2-0 Kernels, bottom of the second. Swing and a miss! Matt Lemansek chased a fastball that ran away from him. Bill Edwards ended the first inning with 2 on and 2 out with a strikeout, and he does the same in the second inning. What a good 2 innings of pitching out of trouble by Bill Edwards. We go to the top of the third here in Davenport, and the Kernels are still ahead of the swing, 2-0. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
None of us can do anything about a bad day, but we can make certain nothing happens to all of our tomorrows. Take everything out of the hands of chance with a well-planned insurance program tailored specifically to your needs. Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency, is an expert in insurance matters. Phil Andrews will develop the right insurance plan for your home, car, business, and life. Depend on Phil Andrews, your hometown professional with Pekin Insurance.
Saturday night at the arena, it's Wrestling Mayhem as the Barbarian Bone Crusher battles Bodacious Bobby the Brain Beefcake.
We interrupt this ridiculous commercial to announce the television debut of Real Pro Wrestling. Not fake wrestling, but the genuine classic sport with world-class wrestlers and enhanced rules for fast, furious action. Visit RealProWrestling.com and watch PAX TV and FSN to experience what wrestling was meant to be.
Hi, Dan Patrick here. You know what's sad? When a player sticks around a couple of years too long and turns into a sad caricature of himself. That's exactly what happens to your car if you don't install a fresh set of Monroe shocks at 50,000 miles. And through April 30th, you can buy a new set of Monroe shocks and get up to $80 back. That's a Hall of Fame deal that makes it much easier to replace your shocks at 50,000 miles. A lot easier, in fact, than replacing a pitcher who doesn't believe that his glory days have passed him by. Monroe, ride safe.
Actual mileage may vary depending upon driver ability, vehicle type, and the type of driving and road conditions.
Nate Sutton, who skied to left in the first inning, the Colonel 2-run first inning, is up in the third, and ball 1 inside from Parisi. Now a bouncer to first, knocked down by the big first baseman Mike Ferris, keeps it right at his feet, and takes the play unassisted. Nate Sutton is grounded out to first unassisted for the first out here in the Kernel third inning. 2-0 Kernels. Freddy Sandoval with a booming double high off the right center field wall his first time up. He scored. Freddy tops on the team with 14 RBIs. The switch hitter batting left with one out here in the Kernel top of the third inning.
Well, if he's going to get 15 RBIs here, it'll have to be a solo home run with no runners on base. But Freddy, as we mentioned, had a little mention of him in Baseball America, one of the highest honors you can have as a Class A baseball player. And he'll look to continue his professional debut. He's off to a fairly solid start, hitting .268 coming into today with one home run. And, John, as you mentioned, he is the team leader in RBIs. Switch hitter, Freddy Sandoval.
He's ahead 2-0, make it 3-0, a fastball low. Matt Lemancek is playing just 4 steps from the edge of the warning track and left, and that's because that wind continues to howl. I think it's still blowing out to left field at ferocity that I would estimate it at least 20, if not 25 miles an hour. Todd's going to check the National Weather Service on his handy-dandy computer.
I'm going to say 24 miles an hour.
Freddy Sandoval on a 3-1 delivery from Mike Parisi has drawn a walk. Second walk issued by the swing right-hander with a 1-2 record. Parisi's last start was here at John O'Donnell Stadium Tuesday against Dayton. He went 5 innings and gave up 5 runs on 10 hits in 5 innings. Struck out 4 Dayton Dragons, walked 1. It was a no decision for Mike in a 6-5 swing victory. That game was, here's a ground ball foul past third by Toussaint. That game was played, I believe, Todd, at 9:30 in the morning.
That's correct. They had a school day that day, a bunch of school children over to the ballpark so that they could attend the game and be home by the time the school buses were there to pick them up at their respective buildings. John, the wind is gusting anywhere between 21 and 32 miles an hour today.
Ouch. That curve is a strike to Drew, and it's 0-2.
That, according to my good friends at the Weather Channel.
What's our temperature?
Our temperature right now is 47, but with the wind, it feels like 39 degrees outside.
Well, we were about right. I thought it was 52. It's 47 degrees. Drew Toussaint lays off a fastball outside. It's 1-2 to Drew. Drew wrapped a single, an RBI single off the pitcher Parisi's glove in that Kernel 2-run first inning. 1 on, 1 out, a throw to first, and Freddy Sandoval dives back in hand first. I can't imagine how cold that Mississippi River water would be today.
Oh, it's cold even in the summertime a lot of the times. That is a very cold, cold river.
It's not a muddy brown color or a blue color that we've seen before. It's gray. It's as gray as the sky.
It's muddy brown when you get up close to it, but right now from this distance, it's just sort of a calmish-looking gray, as you said, and it does match the sky very well. Uh-oh.
Freddy Sandoval's picked off. Oh, they called him safe. It must have been Mike Ferris missing the tag. Here comes Joe Cunningham.
Joe.
I thought Freddy slipped or was caught flat-footed. Parisi threw over there, and somehow Freddy Sandoval, as Nick Monaco takes his mask off as a courtesy, the umpire a courtesy to Joe Cunningham. They're discussing the call right behind the mound. It looked like Freddy Sandoval was out by 1.5 feet.
I think what Joe Cunningham is doing right now is he's playing the favorite ace in the hole that managers play on base umpires, especially in the two-man crew. I think he's trying to tell Nick Monaco he was out of position on that call. Joe does it fairly respectfully. He was slightly animated, and he's making a statement by stalking off the field. Now he glances at Jeff Lascola behind home plate, but Joe goes rather quietly. We know he has a reputation as being sort of an old-school, very feisty manager, and he certainly came out to voice his opinion there. But, John, I think you and I both thought that Freddy stood a good chance of being rung up there.
There he goes, and Toussaint takes a curve low. The throw to second is
he's out now.
Freddy Sandoval out at second on a curveball to Drew Toussaint. Jarrett Hoffpauir took the throw from the catcher Yarborough, and Freddy Sandoval, trying to steal the third Kernel base in the early going here today, is thwarted in that attempt. It goes 2-4 Yarborough to Hoffpauir.
Almost a courtesy to Joe Cunningham there, with Freddy being out by at least 1.5 steps at second base.
Toussaint on a curveball rips it into the left field corner for extra bases. Drew Toussaint will speed into second as Matt Lemansek picks it up near the line and tosses it into third, and it's a double for Drew Toussaint. And I know what you're thinking. Your Freddy Sandoval would be at third base right now. I don't know if he would have scored, but Drew Toussaint took a hanging curveball from Mike Parisi, and Todd, he knew what to do with it.
That's right, especially down that left field line, because Lemansek playing very far over towards center field. There's a big gap between Lemansek, who's playing about a step in front of the warning track, in front of the scoreboard, and the left field line. A very big gap. And Ben Johnson, maybe he can dump one down there opposite field.
Ben does go the other way and fists one foul. It skips into the swing third base dugout. Ben Johnson is tough. He's from Seattle. He was our guest in Lansing recently on this road trip on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. This kind of weather doesn't bother Ben. He's batting bare-armed.
Just like Fernando Rodriguez on the mound yesterday. And of the 9 Kernels on the field, Ben Johnson, the only one not wearing those long, insulated red undershirts. Ben looks tough and acts tough in the batter's box as he calls time, maybe to get into Parisi's head a little bit. And he has really dug in. Look at how serious and stern he looks in the batter's box.
Switch hitter with an open stance. Here's a throw to second, and Drew Toussaint is back standing up. 2-0 Kernels and a 2-out RBI chance for Ben Johnson. He came through with 1 out in the first inning and drove a run home with a sacrifice fly to left. It was his 8th RBI of the year. Ben is hitting at .231, and he's trying to drive home Drew Toussaint here in the Kernel third and add to our 2-0 lead.
There's room down both lines, right and left field, if he could get around on one or put a cue shot into left field.
Fastball is above the letters, ball 1 to Ben Johnson. I'm a little surprised the umpires have not called for the lights to be turned on here on this.
As am I. I thought maybe to start the game they would want them on, but...
Ben chased a changeup that ran away from him. A good pitch by the right-hander, strike 2. Johnson steps out.
There's always the possibility that the sun could come out and they don't want to run up the electricity bill, but I think it's pretty clear looking at the sky. We have a solid wall of clouds above us. There will be no sunshine in Mudville today.
Unfortunately. From the stretch, Parisi comes set at the chin. His curve has Ben Johnson turning toward the Kernel first base dugout. Strike 3 called. The Kernels can't capitalize on a walk. They lose a man trying to steal second and a 2-out double. No runs, a hit. There were no swing errors. The Kernels leave a runner. Our third left and 3 at bat. After 2.5 with the swing coming up, Kernels lead it 2-0, and you're enjoying Kernel baseball in the zone.
And it is done. We attack at lunch.
No, they will expect that. We attack at dinner too.
Excellent. They will never expect a second wave of warriors.
We must prepare.
They will be waiting.
With fresh meat and vegetables on a large table.
And we will be swift in our actions.
Choosing only the finest of their offerings.
Piling them high in a bowl.
Then cooking them fast on a sizzling grill.
And then we eat.
Gaze upon your fresh meat and vegetables for the final time.
The attack will be successful, and we will be satisfied.
The plan is done.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, hey, Valerie. Yeah, we're just getting ready for lunch at Genghis Grill. You want to go?
Yes, to Genghis Grill. Probably no to you two.
Okay.
She is a spy.
And not nearly as hot as she thinks she is.
Fresh food attack.
Genghis Grill, Redwood Road meets Williams Boulevard in Cedar Rapids, next to Gander Mountain.
What is ESPN Radio? It's not that hard. You're a sports fan? This is the sports station. It's ESPN. That means sports. The games, the experts, the analysis, the scores, the highlights, the people who know their stuff. It's good conversation. It's ESPN. It's radio. You know, the box that all the sounds come out of. At your home, in your car, where you work, even in your computer. It's everywhere you go. It's radio. It's ESPN. It's ESPN Radio. That's all it is.
Colonel right-hander Bill Edwards has pitched out of 2-out trouble in each of the first 2 innings, and with the Kernels ahead 2-0, he'll face the numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the swing lineup. Bottom of the third on a very chilly 47-degree Sunday afternoon here in Davenport. A week from today, you may have just given your mom, a week from today, one of her most memorable Mother's Days. That's because we have a wonderful brunch planned at the stadium for Mother's Day starting at 11 o'clock. It'll precede our 2 o'clock game at home next Sunday against Burlington. And for $17, that includes a ticket to the game and all-you-can-eat brunch next Sunday. That's for adults. A 1-0 pitch is hammered foul into the screen by Shepard, 0-2. If you're 12 and under, you can have the Mother's Day brunch at the stadium next Sunday for just $12, and that includes the ticket to the game. Mom will also get a carnation. Kids 12 and under are free, and Todd will have a little more about the specifics of the Mother's Day brunch at the ballpark after this at-bat by Matt Shepard, who singled in the first. Bill Edwards now tempts him with a changeup in the dirt for ball one. The Colonel middle infield squeezes Shepard. They play him up the middle, and that's where he drives it right over the head of Bill Edwards. A solid single drilled into center. Shepard's 2 for 2.
Well, we'll see if Bill Edwards can work out of another jam here in the third inning after Shepard gets things started. And here's the Colonel killer, Jarrett Hoffpauir. But yes, John, you were correct on the Mother's Day brunch, 17, 12, and free for 3 and under, as you said. Includes the ticket to the game, a 3-hour all-you-can-eat buffet. Come at 11 o'clock, eat until 2, and then enjoy the ball game between the Kernels and the Burlington Bees. As Edwards throws over to first base, we have a great food buffet lined up with plenty of salads, fresh fruit, garden-fresh vegetables, hot loaves of bread, assorted biscuits, and other types of bread, hot foods including bacon, sausage, roast Iowa loin of pork. We've even got pasta and egg benedict available during that, as well as an omelet station where they will be cooked to order, pancakes and French toast with all the fixins, syrup, maple, blueberry, honey, apple compote, a carving station including honey-baked ham and roast beef, and then plenty to eat for dessert, including cheesecake, brownies, key lime pie, and others that I just will not be able to get to because we want to tell you what Jarrett Hoffpauir is doing at bat. But that is Sunday, May 8th. Meet me at the stadium, Mom, for Mother's Day brunch.
The runner goes, and a 1-1 pitch is popped off to the right foul by Jarrett Hoffpauir. Strike 2. Yes, that Mother's Day brunch a week from today. Todd kind of, I think, has everybody's mouth watering with that unbelievable variety of delicious all-you-can-eat brunch food starting at 11 o'clock next Sunday.
As I said, John, come early, eat all day long, all afternoon long for 3 hours, and then go to the game.
A tap to short, booted by Billy Boyer, and everybody's safe. That'll be an error on the Colonel shortstop. Tough play, though, for Billy. It was kind of a check swing by Jarrett Hoffpauir. Billy charged it and lost the handle, and both runners are safe. Now Bill Edwards has his toughest task of the afternoon. First and second, nobody out, and Mike Ferris at the plate. The error on Billy, just his second of the year. In his defense, he did have to charge in quickly, and perhaps the only mistake he made was taking a peek, looking up, and when he did that, the ball dribbled out of his glove on the grass for an error.
Well, also in his defense, no one is more bothered by that error than Billy Boyer himself right now. We know, we've seen firsthand what a tough competitor he is this series, even though this is his first appearance.
So Bill Edwards, here's a drive into right center, and on the run, Rodriguez.
No!
He makes a catch. The runner tags and tries for third. He's safe, and Sean Rodriguez just took 1, if not 2 runs away from the swing. Shortstop Sean Rodriguez, playing center field tonight, got on his horse and didn't gallop. He sprinted to his left, a headlong dive, and he took a hit away from Mike Harris. Todd, I think you'd agree with me. If Sean doesn't make that magnificent catch, 2 swing runners would likely have scored.
2 swing runners scores, and we're possibly looking at Hoffpauir at third base because they would have had a lot of ground to make up. That ball would have gotten to the wall. Absolutely amazing. They do not show replays of good plays by the visitors here on that LED scoreboard out in left center field, but that would be a highlight in any ballpark.
Well, they may not. Here's a high drive into center. Rodriguez coming on, and he catches it.
Get him, Sean.
The runner tags the throw home, and the runner held at third. The runner, Shepard, did not try to score. On a ball golfed into center by Deary Hammond, Rodriguez came charging in, and on purpose, he got the momentum of his speed behind him. Then he threw a one-hop peg to Tommy Duenas, and it was about 6 feet up the line at third. But, Todd, I was very surprised in the third inning that Matt Shepard did not try to score.
Well, especially with the 0 for 8 in this series, Brandon Yarborough coming to the plate. Sean Rodriguez is no Warner Madrigal in the outfield. He has a decent arm, but not a cannon. But that throw, as you said, was right up the line.
Up the line. A throw goes to third on a pitch low to the batter, and Freddy Sandoval.
Credit Freddy with saving that one.
He saved a wild throw by Tommy Duenas. I didn't mean to cut you off there, Todd. You're right. Rodriguez has a great arm. It's just not, he doesn't have the distance of Madrigal, but he does have a great arm. And
it's only his second game in the outfield this season. He did play there last year as Edwards throws a breaking ball over inside and low for a strike to Yarborough. He's got the count at 1-1. That's tough, only your second game in the outfield, and he's been tested on back-to-back plays and responded admirably.
Yes, he has. Here's a bouncer to short. Billy Boyer has this one and throws the batter out to end the inning. Bill Edwards gave up back-to-back singles to start the swing third, but with tremendous defense from Sean Rodriguez, Bill Edwards works out of the jam without giving a run up. The Kernels have a lot of momentum now as the Swing have left 6 runners on in their first 3 innings. Let's capitalize on Sean Rodriguez's magnificent catch and then his impressive throw to keep the Swing from scoring in the third inning. We go to the fourth, Kernels 2, Quad City nothing. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
Well, I tell you, there was nothing like seeing Touchdown Jesus looking down on the stadium, right?
Walking through the tunnel in the Coliseum is something you never forget playing for USC, especially against a team like
the roar of the crowd when you enter the horseshoe for the first time is something I'll never forget.
Mike Golick,
Sean Salisbury,
Kirk Herbstreit, defensive end,
quarterback,
Notre Dame, class of 85,
Southern Cal, 1986,
Ohio State, 1992.
Now, they're all on our team. The College Football Experience on ESPN Radio.
2 sensational plays in center by Sean Rodriguez helped Bill Edwards prevent the Swing from scoring in the bottom of the third. Let's see if the Kernels can take the momentum from that tremendous inning in the field. A curve is low to Aaron Peel. I have a feeling Mike Parisi is not going to throw Aaron Peel anything straight and fast.
No, straight and fast will leave the ball straighter and faster today.
There is a fastball low for ball 2. It's the top of the hour, 3 o'clock in eastern Iowa, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball in the Zone, KCRG, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Ball 3 is downstairs to Peel, and you know Bobby Magallanes. He is a manager that will often turn the batter loose on a 3-0 count. Aaron struck out his first time up.
Not
a
here.
4-pitch walk. Aaron Peel has drawn the third walk of the afternoon issued by Mike Parisi. And I would be very surprised if Aaron Peel isn't running. Jordan Wren dumped a single down the line and left his first time and then stole second. He was there with nobody out in the second inning, but the next 3 Kernels could not advance him.
We have seen Bobby willingly use anyone and everyone, even people that are a little slow on the base paths. And there he goes.
Swing and a miss, the throw to second, and Aaron Peel is a goner. Aaron Peel tagged out by the second baseman Jarrett Hoffpauir, so the Kernels have stolen 2 bases, and they've been caught trying to steal twice.
I should have warned my parents who are here today at the ball game that we run a lot. My parents are not huge baseball people, but they have to be down in the stands wondering what is going on right now.
And Wren swung at a pitch for a strike. Now a big curveball, and Jordan was thrown off guard by that. He swings and misses, strike 2. So Peel, after drawing a 4-pitch walk, as we thought would be running, he was running, and Yarborough threw him out. Wren's down on strikes on a curveball. 2 away now, quickly in the Kernel 4th. 2-0 Kernels. We'll have another chance for you to earn a prize from the Bim Ritter Diamond Shop. That's coming in the 6th inning when the Kernels bat. You'll log on to our website and click on a link for the Roadshow Trivia Challenge. Tommy Duenas flew out to left his first time up. Tommy batting with 2 gone and nobody on in the Kernel 4th inning. Mike Parisi fires a pitch low, ball 1.
Who knows what Kernel family member will win today on the home road, the Roadshow Trivia Challenge. I think they have it a little easier as Tommy looks at a big bender for strike 1 right there. They have it easier because they have the internet up already listening to our broadcast. They just have to open another window and head over to kernels.com, whereas our other listeners that may be listening in their radios in their car or at home while they're out doing yard work have to run inside the house and log on. So don't think we jerry-rig this or anything.
No, we don't.
They just have it easier because when you're out of state, you have to have the internet up to listen to the zone 1600.com.
Ball 3, a fastball high and away to Tommy. Todd, one thing we haven't mentioned as you look beyond the batter's eye here at Donald Stadium across the river into Moline, there's a big, big white building. The 3-1 pitch to Tommy is wrapped foul into the screen. I'm sorry to say that it looks like it used to be an armory, and now it's all decorated with signage that says Casino Rock Island. Why in the world would Rock Island, I said Moline, why would Rock Island let an armory be turned into a casino?
Well, I think that building has been empty for several years.
Swing and a miss by Tommy on a curveball, and what started to be a promising inning, a leadoff walk by Peel, ends in a pair of strikeouts. I'll have Todd pick up his explanation on what I think used to be the Rock Island Armory on the other side of the Mississippi River. It's now a casino. No runs, no hits, a walk, a man caught trying to steal second. There were no errors committed by the swing. The Kernels leave nobody aboard. We've left 3. As we head to the home half of the 4th in Davenport, the Kernels maintain their 2-0 edge over the swing, and you're enjoying Kernel baseball in the zone.
This Saturday night at the arena, it's Wrestling Mayhem as the Barbarian Bone Crusher battle Nation's Bobby the Brain Beefcake.
We interrupt this ridiculous commercial to announce the television debut of Real Pro Wrestling. Not fake wrestling, but the genuine classic sport with world-class wrestlers and enhanced rules for fast, furious action. Visit RealProWrestling.com and watch PAX TV and FSN to experience what wrestling was meant to be.
You know, there are zillions of computers out there, but they all take you to the same spot, the Internet. So why would you pay AOL almost $24 a month when you can get there on Net Zero for only $9.95? With Net Zero, you get reliable, unlimited access with spam control and email virus protection, all for less than half the cost of AOL. Net Zero even ranks higher in customer satisfaction. Go to netzero.com or call 877-NET-ZERO to sign up and start saving today.
Selling a home is a lot harder than I thought. I need help. Got any suggestions?
Oh, yeah. Call Coldwell Banker Hedges. They're the best in Cedar Rapids.
They've got over 85 agents. How do I pick the right one?
Call Coldwell Banker Hedges at 378-8760 and ask for Nancy. She's the relocation director. She'll help you choose the best agent for your needs.
Thanks. That's exactly the help I need.
Don't thank me. Thank Coldwell Banker Hedges. They're the ones who'll make the difference. Call Coldwell Banker Hedges Realty at 378-8760.
Quad City has put 2 men on in each of the first 3 innings against right-hander Bill Edwards, but they haven't been able to solve the Kernel right-hander. Beyond that, they've left 6. As we were leaving the Kernel's top of the 4th inning, I was asking Todd Brummelkamp, who knows this Quad City region better than anyone I know, why an armory, a beautiful white stone building across the river above the batter's eye in center field, why that's now a casino.
Well, it's actually used for valet parking at the Casino Rock Island right across the river. And the armory had seen better days. It had not been in use for a while when the casino moved into town right next door. And so the developers are using it, I believe, in conjunction with the city to provide plenty of parking for the visitors to the casino. The only casino on the Illinois Quad Cities side of the river. Moline does not have a boat. Davenport and Bettendorf both do on the Iowa side.
Swinging at a 1-1 pitch and missing his right-handed batter, Jake Mullinex. And how in the world a community this size, 250,000 metro in the 4 cities, can support 3 gambling boats is beyond me, but that's...
Especially with the expansion of...
Strike! 3 called. Jake Mullinex was caught looking, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Bill Edwards. Todd, especially with the expansion of what?
Well, with the expansion of riverboat gaming in the state of Iowa and the state of Illinois, it seems anyone with a man-made lake or a body of water can open up a casino boat now. So back in the early 90s when they first opened up around here, it was the only one of its kind. Up and down the Mississippi River, there were some down near Fort Madison. There still is. And then the Mississippi Belle in Clinton. But the river boats are everywhere now, but they have managed to stay afloat, and it's a catch-22, John. We all know the crux of issues with gaming as Wes Swackhammer goes to 2-0 on the count, but the tax revenues generated by those boats go back into cities like Clinton. They got a big grant towards matching that Vision Iowa money as Swackhammer looks at a strike on the inside over the plate without moving his bat. That Vision Iowa grant was matched partly by funds that were given to the city of Clinton by the gaming commission there.
A grounder to short. Billy Boyer with the pick up and throw to first, and the Kernels have gotten Wes Swackhammer for one of the few times in this series. Wes narrowly missed a home run in the 2nd inning as he pulled a pitch high off the right field wall, but hey, Bill Edwards is handling this lower third of the swing order pretty well so far. He's gotten the first 2. Now he'll face right-handed hitting Simon Williams, who drew a walk on a 3-2 pitch back in the 2nd inning. It's 2-0 Kernels, bottom of the 4th. And Todd, it's great that you know all you do about this area because, and I don't mean to, I have a bias. My friends and acquaintances know I'm dead set against gambling. I know there are advantages to a tax base because of the revenue that it generates. I know many of the casinos, here's a curve that almost hits a batter, ball 2. Many of the casinos do great things, philanthropic things. I'm just glad that the Cedar Rapids citizens voted gambling down a couple of years ago. Our city is, I think, and I don't want to say above it, but I will say our city is above needing gambling to generate revenue. Here's a foul right over the screen down below.
Right next to Carl Jelena and Jesse Smith, who are in the stands charting pitches for the Kernels today, about 1 row and 1 seat right behind Carl Jelena, yesterday's starter for the Kernels.
That brings a big smile from Colonel Director of Group Outings and Ticketing, Andrea Murphy. Andrea's here with her little brother. She's in the Big Brother, Little Sisters. What do they call it, Todd?
Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
There you go. Andrea has her little brother here, and Andrea saw that ball almost clunked Carl Jelena and Jesse Smith, and it's ball 3 now to Simon Williams. Can Bill Edwards come back and get him? No, he walked him again. I'll be darned. That number 9 hitter, Simon Williams, has the Colonel pitching staff, as Todd said earlier, absolutely terrorized. We just are scared of Simon Williams. I don't know if it's his name or the fact that he's done so well in this series, but we walked him, and that brings up Matt Lemancic. Bill Edwards unable to get the 1-2-3 inning we were hoping for.
The Armory in Rock Island was opened in 1937 across the way.
It's a beautiful building.
It is. It's an absolutely beautiful building along the riverfront in Rock Island.
It's a shame they haven't taken care of the roof, though. It looks like it is really in tough shape, but the white stucco material, it just looks like an emerald over there. No count yet to Matt Lemancic as Bill Edwards is thrown over to first a couple of times. Simon Williams, a big lead. He has no steals. He's been caught twice. Matt Lemancic 0 for 2 today. Pops one foul over the Colonel first base dugout. Another interesting observation about this remodeled John O'Donnell Stadium, the dugout roofs are gray and they don't have advertising on them, and that surprises me a little bit.
That is correct. We have very large advertisements for Wendy's at our ballpark, and most minor league ballparks will put an advertisement anywhere they can nowadays, John.
Here's a high pop-up to shallow right. Nate Sutton 4 steps back on the grass and right at second has it. Matt Lemansek is retired to end the swing fourth as he pops to second. So Bill Edwards has spun 4 scoreless innings. He pitches around a 2-out walk in the swing fourth. Quad City has now left 7 men on in 4 innings. The Kernels come to bat in the top of the 5th, trying to add to a 2-0 lead over the Swing. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
When we met at spaghetti, we would never forget the Ojanos. Now it's where mi amore and I dine in. We carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini, or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. The Ojanos is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember the Ojanos with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
Step up to the plate this summer and nominate your favorite Cedar Rapids Kernel for the Rockwell Collins Fans Choice Award. Every time you catch a Kernels game, fill out a Fans Choice ballot to recognize the efforts of your favorite ball player. Then drop the ballot in the designated box at the souvenir stand. During the season's final homestand, Rockwell Collins will present the Fans Choice Trophy to the player with the most votes and make a donation to that player's favorite charity. Rockwell Collins and the Cedar Rapids Kernels, partners on and off the field.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Hello? Yeah, this is Aaron from Georgia. I just wanted to tell Colin that he's a genius, man.
Oh, hold on. Let me get Colin for you. Stay there. I'll get Colin for you.
Right next to you.
Hold on. Let me.
Colin, you there?
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, well, go ahead. This is Colin.
Colin, man, you're a genius. I agree totally with you about the pitching stuff.
Thank you. I feel like I'm a genius.
Don't be left out of The Herd. Only on ESPN Radio.
Billy Boyer leading off the Colonel 5th inning with the Colonels ahead 2-0. We scored 2 in the first inning. Bill Edwards has pitched around some difficult spots with help from his defense today, and Billy Boyer took a curve low, and now he grounds one foul past third. Strike 1 to Billy. And Uncle Charlie is in there for strike 2. Billy Boyer getting the start at shortstop today. Grounded to short his first time up. He's batting 171. 1 homer, 4 RBIs. Billy's from the Seattle area, and he loves coaching kids in the off-season. He checks his swing on a breaking pitch in the dirt for ball 2. Billy told us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play show he not only loves kids and teaching them all the aspects of baseball, but it's a pretty good living in the off-season. Breaking pitch does in Billy. Strike 3 at the knees, and that's 3 in a row, 3 strikeouts in a row for right-hander Mike Parisi. State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, Lanny Peterson, and Al Shetler bring us our first look at afternoon action here from Davenport on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
That's right. We will look at action that is underway here, and Sean takes the first pitch for a strike. Over in the National League, it's Atlanta over St. Louis, 2-1 today. Sorry, John. John Smoltz is the winner. Jeff Suppan takes the loss in that 2-1 ball game down in Atlanta.
A curve low to Rodriguez. Sean walked, stole second, scored in the first, flew out to center in the second.
Florida at Philadelphia, just about over. Bottom of the 8th, Philadelphia leads 8-6. San Francisco is on top of Pittsburgh, 8-3, currently in the 9th inning.
Ball 2 outside to Rodriguez, the Colonel leadoff batter.
Cardinal fans will rejoice at the fact Houston is defeating the Cubs 9-3 in the juice box. That game's in the top of the 7th.
Rodriguez tomahawks one foul. This one will drift beyond the reach of the first baseman. He watches it fall in front of the Colonel dugout. On the field of play, strike 2, Mike Ferris and the catcher, Brandon Yarborough, neither could really, well, I'm not going to say they didn't hustle. I'm surprised they didn't get closer to it.
We've got another 9-run game in progress. Milwaukee leads Cincinnati 9-2 at Miller Park. Cincinnati batting in the top of the 7th off Doug Davis. Arizona on top of my Padres early, 1-0 in the top of the 1st. That ball game is played in San Diego.
Rodriguez lost a high, lazy fly ball to left. Matt Lemansek doesn't have to move at all, and he puts the squeeze on it. Sean Rodriguez is flied to left for the second out in the Colonel 5th inning. 2-0 Colonels with nobody on, 2 out. Nate Sutton, the left-handed batter, will step in.
Dodgers and Rockies scoreless in the top of the 1st in Chavez Ravine. As John mentioned later on tonight in the zone, it's the Mets against the Washington Nationals.
Strike one on the inside edge to Nate Sutton.
Over in the American League, Kansas City takes another one from the Indians, 6-5 today. They scored a run in the top of the 8th inning to break that ball game open.
Strike two at the knees to Nate.
In progress, the Blue Jays ahead of the Yankees in the Bronx, 8-6 in the top of the 8th. Corey Koski and Gary Sheffield have home runs for their respective teams. Baltimore beating Tampa Bay 7-4 in the bottom of the 8th.
A chopper to second, and Nate Sutton is thrown out by Jarrett Hoffpauir. A quick 1-2-3 inning as Mike Parisi mows through the Kernels. Todd will finish his look at the American League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard when the swing comes to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning. After 4.5, it's still the Kernels on top of Quad City, 2-0. You're enjoying Kernel baseball in the zone.
Yes, spring is here. So is the bulky item cleanup in Cedar Rapids. Only specific wood and plastic articles are being accepted. The complete list is on the flyer you recently received in the mail. Be sure to check that flyer before putting out any items for city crews when they come to your neighborhood. If you have appliances, tires, and scrap metal you want to get rid of at no charge, follow the instructions on the back of the flyer. This reminder from your friends at Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling.
Sony, makers of the first home video system, the first CD player, and of course, the Walkman, has another great innovation, the Sony Card Credit Card. Apply today and transform your ordinary purchases into extraordinary rewards from Sony. Every time you use the Sony Card, you get one step closer to getting the things you want, because every dollar you spend earns Sony reward points. Good for CDs, DVDs, digital cameras, TVs, all the Sony electronics you may be dreaming of. And the Sony card comes with all the features you deserve in a credit card, with a competitive APR and no annual fee. When you apply now, you'll even get a $50 credit to your account after your first purchase. Additional terms and conditions apply. Call for details. Don't wait. Turn your everyday purchases into Sony products with the Sony Card. This offer is available to applicants in the U.S. only. You must be 18 years or older to apply. Call 800-254-5858. That's 800-254-5858.
We haven't seen a lot of barge traffic on the Mississippi, but as we open up the swing 5th inning with the Kernels ahead of the Quad City Ball Club 2-0, a big tow pushing up grain barges. Todd, you think those could be heading all the way to Minneapolis, St. Paul?
Well, they very well could be. That one is actually headed south right now, downriver, but he's making some good headway heading towards the lock and dam system and putting a lot of river behind him. As we'll continue our look at the State Farm scoreboard very quickly. Boston leads 6-3 against Texas at the ballpark in Arlington.
Matt Shepard has taken the first two pitches low from Bill Edwards. Matt is 2 for 2 this afternoon.
Our Los Angeles Angels, with former Colonel Scott Shields on the mound, currently lead 2-0 over Minnesota at the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome in Minneapolis. Detroit is trailing Chicago 2-0 right now. That game's in the bottom of the 4th at Sox Park. And Oakland and Seattle are scoreless in the bottom of the 1st inning. And that is a long look over an inning and a half of the State Farm scoreboard.
Strike two at the knees as Bill Edwards has evened the count to Shepard, 2-2. Here's strike three! Oh, Matt Shepard, who was ahead 2-0, took 3 straight pitches from Bill Edwards. Bill has now rung up his 4th strikeout victim. Bill Edwards strikes out Matt Shepard to start the 5th inning. And Todd, thanks for bringing us that look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard from State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, and Gary Schubat. Again, as Todd noted, you can catch action tonight here in the zone from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. I think there's going to be quite a rivalry that develops between the Mets and Nationals, and I'll tell you and our listeners why in just a moment, Todd.
Don't forget the Orioles in interleague play.
Jarrett Hoffpauir's 2 for 2. He's ahead 1-0, and he grounds one foul past his manager, Joe Cunningham, into the left field swing bullpen. I went to Washington, D.C. this past fall for a good, long 6-day visit with my brother who works at the World Bank in our nation's capital, and I'll tell you what, Washingtonians and New Yorkers kind of have a rivalry. Washington's the power capital of our country. Power, 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 and political power. New York City is the commercial or financial leader in our country, and those two cities have a lot of pride.
Absolutely, and it's just a short train ride between the two cities. I know I've made it before, and yes, there is a big rivalry, and I think that's why ESPN is choosing this Mets-Nationals game to sort of get that off on the right foot and set that rivalry in stone, much more so than the Expos and the Mets were ever rivals.
A 2-2 pitch to Hoffpauir, and Jarrett cranks it foul off the facade in front of the third base and left field bleachers. Boy, there have been kids leaning over that wall that's only about 4 feet high the whole afternoon, and all they want is a chance for a foul ball like Hoffpauir just hit. And
they're not going to get that one.
Here's a drive into left, and going back is Toussaint. Drew has it tracked perfectly in front of the warning track. Drew Toussaint catches the line drive off the bat of Jarrett Hoffpauir. 2 away here in the swing 5th inning. 2-0 Kernels. And remember, we'll have a Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question for you in the top of the 6th inning. What the Colonel equipment manager is doing, I can't tell you, but he's the center of attention, and he's looking back into the stands to make sure everybody knows that he ran and got that foul ball. The batter is Mike Ferris.
That was a long run for Henry.
Yes, it was. Bill Edwards, in quest of his first 1-2-3 inning this afternoon, has gotten ahead of the big left-handed batter, Mike Ferris.
Wheeling and dealing so far.
There's a fastball just low for ball 1. And Andrea Murphy, Colonel ticket manager and group outing director, is looking up here. Here's a swing and a miss by Ferris, strike 2.
He's giving the L sign for love right now.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Jen. What's up?
Your hair looks great. Did you get it cut?
Sure did. I went to Cost Cutters.
Wait, are those highlights?
Yeah, I've always wanted to try.
Interesting.
It looks really good. Don't you just love how you can stop into Cost Cutters anytime and get a great cut or color?
Yeah, you don't have to plan out the next month of your life to fit in a haircut. With Cost Cutters, you can go after work.
Yeah, on weekends.
Hey, on your lunch break, it's great when you forget you have like an afternoon meeting.
You are such a procrastinator.
No, I am not. Okay, maybe I am.
Yeah.
Now, Mark, are those chestnut or caramel highlights?
I don't know what color they are. All I know is that it looks good. Cost Cutters is the only salon for me.
You should be like the official spokesmodel for Cost Cutters.
Spokesmodel.
No, exactly. Don't you think?
Working on it.
Oh, guys, come on.
You work a little.
Stop into your neighborhood Cost Cutters anytime. Convenience is Cost Cutters' trademark. Cost Cutters, just your style. Cost Cutters is proud to support Eastern Iowa's most wholesome, affordable family entertainment. Cedar Rapids Kernels Baseball.
Number 3 hitter Freddy Sandoval's had a good day at the plate. He's doubled and scored, walked. He was caught trying to steal second after drawing a 1-out walk in the 3rd, doubled and scored in the 1st, and he's even on the count 1-1. Mike Parisi has retired 5 Kernels in a row. The 1-1 to Freddy is looped down the left field line. If it's fair, it's trouble, and it lands on the foul line. It goes into the left field corner. Matt Lemansek picks it up in foul ground and heaves it into the cutoff man, and Freddy Sandoval pulls into second. That ball, Todd, hit the foul line.
That ball kicked up some chalk, and it will also kick up some activity in the swing bullpen as their bullpen catcher sprints down the left field line in foul territory and will hastily begin warming someone up, as it looks like Parisi once again is in trouble here in the top of the 6th as Drew Toussaint, one of the Colonel's hottest hitters, steps in, digs in, swings that big toothpick around and sees if he can bring Sandoval home from second.
He'll at least try to hit the ball on the ground to the right side as Parisi misses high and in. It's Freddy Sandoval's second double of the afternoon as he looped one the other way down the left field line, and he's at second with nobody out. Drew Toussaint is 2 for 2 today with an RBI. He goes the other way like he should, and he fouls it off to the right. Time to log on to our website for your chance to earn a prize from the Bim Ritter Diamond Shop, www.kernels.com, and then you're going to click on the link that says Roadshow Trivia Challenge. If you've already answered our Roadshow Trivia Challenge correctly, or our Springhouse question at home, our trivia question at home, please don't email today. Toussaint pumps one high into the screen behind home plate, and it's 1-2 to Drew. Again, if you've already won a prize from the Bim Ritter Diamond Shop as our Colonel Roadshow Challenge trivia question winner, or if you've earned a prize, a $5 gift certificate to the Spring House at home during our home broadcast, please play along wherever you're tuned in, but don't email us with your answer. Pitch up and in, and Drew is even on the count 2 and 2. And we need your name, address, and phone number, along with the answer to the question Todd will give you in just a moment. Our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge from John O'Donnell Stadium. Look out, Drew is standing in calmly as a curveball drifts downstairs and almost hitting ball 3. Freddy Sandoval's at second with nobody out.
Now would be a perfect time for Drew Toussaint to base hit single up the middle, because I think it would score Freddy from second.
Now the catcher wants to come out, or the pitcher, Parisi, wants his battery mate Yarborough to come out. They meet halfway between the plate and the mound. And Todd, our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question.
What New York Yankee whacked an all-time single-season record 6 grand slams in the year 1987? What New York Yankee whacked an all-time single-season record 6 grand slams in 1987?
A curve is popped in the air to shallow left. Lemansek is coming on. It may drop. It does drop. Freddy Sandoval will hoof it over to third. Toussaint is diving into second with a double. And at second and third, nobody out. Drew Toussaint lifted one in the air. Matt Lemansek was playing awfully deep. He couldn't get there. Matt Shepard, the shortstop, was backpedaling. He couldn't make a play. It dropped between them for a gift double, and the Colonels have runners at second and third with nobody out, trying to add to their 2-0 lead. Here in the top of the 6th inning, the swing infield is in for the play at the plate. Ben Johnson has a golden chance now to put the Colonels on the board for the first time since the first inning. He lofts one into left down the line. Lemansek has it, and sprinting home is Freddy Sandoval to make it 3-0. Ben Johnson delivers his second sacrifice fly of the day. First pitch swinging, he lifted it in the air down the line and left. Matt Lemansek caught it. Freddy Sandoval tagged from third and sprinted home. Drew Toussaint stayed at second, and it's 3-0 Colonels here in the top of the 6th inning.
We are cooking now as the tall right-hander continues to warm up in the bullpen for the swing of the Quad Cities.
A curve to Aaron Peel, and that's high, ball 1. And Todd and I are trying to get a line on that right-hander. Dennis Medina, if he comes in, it would be his 3rd appearance in this series.
Medina is 0-0 with a 4.50 ERA in this series. He has made 2 appearances.
Peel takes high for ball 2. Todd will repeat the Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question in a moment. It concerns a slugger for the Yankees in 1987 who hit 6 grand slams to set an all-time single-season record with 6 grand slams in 1987. Swing and a miss by Peel, strike 1.
What New York Yankee whacked an all-time single-season record 6 grand slams in 1987? He also hit a home run in 8 consecutive games that year, and Todd Browncamp's easy hint of the day is it was not Alvaro Espinoza. Think Yankees, mid-'80s.
Throw to second, and Drew Toussaint is back. And Todd, to email us, folks have to take a couple of simple steps.
That's right. Go to www.kernels.com. Over on the right-hand side of the page, you'll see a little blurb about the Roadshow Trivia Challenge. Click that little link that says click here, and you will be prompted to send us an email to type your answer. We need your name, your address, and, of course, the correct answer. And you will win a prize, a Colonel's poncho or umbrella from the Bim Ritter Diamond Shop.
Ball 3 outside the Peel.
Kernels.com. And it's that simple if you know the answer to what Yankee whacked an all-time single-season record 6 grand slams in 1987.
Ball 4 to Peel, and that may do it for Mike Parisi. He's given up a pair of doubles, a run, and now he's walked his 4th batter of the day. Let's see if Joe Cunningham is ready to make a pitching change.
Is that Joe or Brian Eversgerd?
We'll wait and see. Dennis Medina warming up in that
Eversgerd.
Dennis Medina warming up in the left field bullpen.
John, the Yankees were not very good in the mid-'80s, so your pool of names to choose from of sluggers that could pull that feat off, any Tom, Dick, and Harry could yank a grand slam every now and then, but this guy had 6 of them in one season.
In 1987. And we're waiting for the correct answer to be emailed to us.
And while we wait for that, as the Mound Conference breaks up, we should let you know that if you like to keep up on how your former Kernels are doing, a great way to do that is to go to futureangels.com, Stephen C. Smith's website. There was a nice little mention of John and myself on there today in his Future Angels blog. He has a lot of news on there about the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, and a couple former Kernels off to great starts there this year.
A curve almost hits Jordan Wren's ball 1. Yeah, that's a great place to keep up on how former Kernels are doing as they make their way up to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, their ultimate goal.
FutureAngels.com. And again,
throw to second. Toussaint gets back in ahead of the peg by the pitcher. Jarrett Hoffpauir snuck into Drew's left. Tried to get him. Jordan Wren's trying to add to a Kernel 3-0 lead with 2 on and 1 out here in the 6th inning. Takes high, ball 2. And I'll tell you, Mike Parisi looks like he may be running on fumes here.
Well, this will most certainly be his last batter, especially if Wren's reaches here. I think they just need more time for Medina to get loose, although he appears to have a rubber arm if this will be his 3rd appearance in the series.
Oh, Jordan helps out the right-hander as he cuts through a chin-high fastball. Boy, that pitch is tough to lay off of at any level. That high heat.
www.kernels.com, the Roadshow Trivia Challenge. We need a correct answer. We're still looking for one. What Yankee hit 6 grand slams in 1987?
Strike 2 to Jordan Wren.
Not Willie Randolph. There's another hint. I'm trying to think of 1987 Yankees that it would be ridiculous to have hit 6 grand slams. I'm not giving you too much help.
Not Rick Cerrone.
The mustachioed one.
2 on, 1 out, and the 2-2 to Jordan Wren. Swinging a foul into the screen on a curveball. Jordan has singled, stolen second, and struck out this afternoon. 3-0 Kernels. 1 out in the 6th. Toussaint at second. Aaron Peel at first. Wren stands straight away from the right side, and he's trying to solve right-hander Mike Parisi for the 2nd time this afternoon.
It was not Mickey Mantle. He had been retired for several years.
Yep, Mick hung him up in 1966.
The Yankees of the mid-'80s.
A curve bashed into left. That's a base hit. Drew Toussaint's being waved home. Lemancic's peg to the plate is not strong enough. It's cut off.
Way
Jordan Wren.
Offline.
Jordan Wren has his 2nd run driven in as many games. He chases home Drew Toussaint to make it 4-0 Kernels. Wren's with his 9th RBI of the year.
Here comes Joe.
Plastered one hard past the shortstop into left. Stopping at second was Aaron Peel, and we have a pitching change. While I get the totals on Mike Parisi rung up here, we've had kind of a Tom Hanks film fest on our Tri-State Travel Motor Coach treks the last few games. Can't think of the name of the movie where Hanks was stranded on a deserted island. Castaway. Then
John sleeps through most of the movies. That's why, honestly, he can't remember the names of them. Then yesterday, John, we watched Saving Private Ryan, and today it was Road to Perdition. I think Eric Munson has a man crush on Tom Hanks.
So, Todd, you have an interesting insight into that movie Road to Perdition as it relates to this Quad City area.
That's right, and I didn't want to say anything on the bus today because no one wants to be the dork that points that out to a bunch of 20-year-old ball players that could care less. But the book Road to Perdition was written by local author Max Allen Collins, who attended the University of Iowa, and I believe from Muscatine. I could be wrong on that, but Max is a well-known figure here in the Quad Cities. And the story is loosely based around a Rock Island gangster. We have talked a lot about Rock Island today, and his name is John Rooney in the movie, played by Paul Newman. The actual person in real life's name was John Looney with an L, and he was one of the most colorful crime figures in western Illinois in the early 20th century. The movie took place in the 30s. He was actually around in the teens and the 1920s, but the story based on an actual character. As I was telling John, the Chicago mob had a lot of ties to the Quad City area, and especially when Prohibition came around. And John, I know you'll appreciate this little tidbit about the real-life Rooney character, John Looney. His crime career came to an end when he was taken in 1925, convicted of conspiracy for his underworld activities. The trial was held in Rock Island, but a murder trial involving Looney was, he had put in a change of venue request, and the trial was held at the Knox County Courthouse in Galesburg, where his career came to an end. And that's the story behind Road to Perdition, which we will pick up in the middle of. The Quad Cities is our shortest commuter trip of the year, so it's hard to get through an entire movie on just one leg of the journey. We'll catch the end of that, and I bet Kernan Ronan would enjoy that trivia tidbit. He is a big crossword puzzle guy and a very worldly person. As Tommy Duenas steps in to face Dennis Medina, Kernan would probably enjoy the fact that the movie is semi-based on real-life events.
Thanks, Todd. A change-up low to Tommy. Mike Parisi so far has given up 4 runs in 5 1/3 on 7 hits. He fanned 5 Kernels, walked 4. He gives way to Dennis Medina as the tall Venezuelan right-hander working for the 3rd time in the series comes set below the belt. A curve, look out, a check swing, and that one into the Kernel first base dugout. Everybody okay.
Fernando Rodriguez.
Everybody okay as Tommy's even on the count.
Rafael Rodriguez has a souvenir. Rafi will be the starting pitcher tomorrow when the Kernels open up an 8-game homestand with the first of 4 games against the former occupants of John O'Donnell Stadium, the Minnesota Twins farmhands, now from Beloit.
6:30 start tomorrow.
Rafi, one of the league's top 10 best pitchers, best starters at this point.
The 1-1 to Duenas is ripped foul into the left field corner as Tommy's tough hitting luck continues. Couldn't quite straighten that one out. Well, that's interesting, Todd, that this fella, you're saying his last name was John Rooney or Looney?
Rooney is
he was a
character in the movie.
And he was a real gangster here in Rock Island.
John Looney was a real gangster over just across the bridge in Rock Island.
And he was part of the Chicago mob and the...
Part of the Rock Island mob, which was, of course, connected to Al Capone and the Chicago mob.
The 1-2 to Duenas. A curve is lofted high in the air into shallow left. The shortstop is backpedaling. With the wind, it was a hairy adventure, but Matt Shepard, the shortstop, caught it in shallow left. Tommy Duenas is popped to the shortstop for the second out here in the Kernels' 6th inning. 4-0 Kernels. And the batter is Billy Boyer. Wouldn't it be nice if Billy could give his confidence a needed boost at the plate by coming through here with 2 on and 2 out?
I'd like to see him poke one through the gap on the second base and into right field opposite way. I think it would score the runner from second base. But I don't think Billy's hurting for confidence at this point, but it would be a much-needed boost. Let's put it that way.
Ball 1 low from Dennis Medina. Todd and I are still awaiting your answers to the Roadshow Trivia Challenge question. Hopefully we'll have a winner when we can report shortly.
Kernels.com, and it's the Roadshow Trivia Challenge link on the right-hand side of the website.
Billy Boyer smashes one into left field for a base hit. They're waving home Aaron Peel. He'll score to make it 5-0 Kernels. Billy Boyer gets a high-five fist from Justin Bachman and a reassuring pat on the upper back. Billy Boyer makes it 5-0 Kernels as he hammered a single into left. He hit it hard. Wren stopped at second as Peel scored from second, and the Kernels are ahead now 5-0. That run is charged to the departed starter, Mike Parisi. How about Billy Boyer, Todd? That kid
John,
deserves
you called it, and yes, he does. He ripped that ball, lashed it down the left field line just over the third baseman, and for a base hit. Now Renz is at second, Boyer standing on first, and that could be all he needs, Billy Boyer, to get over the hump from batting strictly right-handed to get his season back on track.
Ball 1 outside, or a strike on the outside.
Yes!
Rodriguez hits one high and deep down the left field line at the wall.
Oh.
Lemancic caught it. Matt Lemancic ramming into the wall 343 feet away. Took a extra base hit bid away from Sean Rodriguez. Sean narrowly missed a 3-run homer that would have capped what has already been a great 6th inning. The Kernels send 8 men to the plate in the 6th. They strike for 3 runs and knock out the swing starter. 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no Quad City errors, and the Kernels strand 2 men aboard. After 5.5, good news from Davenport. The Kernels now lead the swing 5-0. You're listening to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
A new school year means the chase is on. What school will be the best? The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy winner. It's simple. The school that rules brings home the hardware. Your school earns points by being the best in all 19 sports programs. Boys and girls, fall, winter, and spring. The school with the winningest programs takes home the coveted Zone Metro Sports Trophy and $500 from Farm Bureau Financial Services. Every sport counts towards each school's total points, and citywide bragging rights are on the line. We'll post the standings quarterly at the worldwide headquarters of the Zone1600.com. Current stats show Linmar leading the boys contest and Marion holds the top spot in the girls column. Who will come out on top? Kennedy, Jefferson, Linmar, Marion, Prairie, Washington, or Xavier. The Zone Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy. Only from the home of high school sports. The Zone. The Zone. ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
Well, I'll tell you, there was nothing like seeing Touchdown Jesus looking down on the stadium, right?
You know, walking through the tunnel in the Coliseum is something you never forget. Playing for USC, especially against a team like
the roar of the crowd when you enter the horseshoe for the first time is something I'll never forget.
Mike Golick,
Sean Salisbury,
Kirk Street,
defensive end,
quarterback,
Notre Dame, class of 85,
Southern Cal, 1986,
Ohio State, 1992.
Now, they're all on our team. The College Football Experience on ESPN Radio.
Bill Edwards has a little bit of breathing room with which to work as he's ready to set sail here in the bottom of the 6th inning on a very chilly, bone-chilling Sunday afternoon. Derry Hammond lines one into center. Sean Rodriguez gets a good jump on it and trots in to snare it. Derry Hammond, first pitch swinging, has lined out to center. Sean Rodriguez, a big reason the Kernels are ahead in this game 5-0. He took a run, if not 2, away from the swing back in the 3rd inning on a sensational catch in right center off a drive of the bat of Mike Ferris. There were 2 on at the time with nobody out. Brandon Yarborough, a left-handed hitting catcher, pokes one foul over the screen. Todd, any news yet on the Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge?
We will give the address one more time. It's kernels.com. And the link on the right-hand side, the Roadshow Trivia Challenge. What New York Yankee whacked an all-time single-season record 6 grand slams in 1987. He also hit a home run in 8 consecutive games that year. And one final hint, he wore a mustache.
Yes, he did.
And it wasn't Rick Cerrone.
Nope.
That should narrow it down a little.
I think his nickname was blank, his first name, baseball. In other words, they said his first name, blank, and then baseball was his nickname.
There was a player in Burlington a couple years ago that shared the same nickname with him. Not quite the caliber of player, but
Brandon Yarborough in the hole 1 and 2. Chops one to the right side. Nate Sutton charges, and then underhands to Ben Johnson, 2 away. Here in the swing 6th inning, Brandon Yarborough retired. He's nothing for 3. And Bill Edwards is now retired 6 straight Quad City hitters. 2 away in the 6th for Quad City, and the Kernels are ahead 5-0. Todd, if we don't have a winner on our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question, we'll give the answer and be right back at it with a Springhouse trivia question tomorrow. I know this isn't a stumper. I know someone knows the answer, but perhaps they've already answered correctly and they're abiding by our ground rules. Look out, a curveball hits the batter, Jake Mullinex, square in the small of the back.
Now, John, we have an answer. It's the correct answer. And
great.
This is very interesting because you had some facts here about the 2 players that had hit 5 grand slams in a season. And our correct answer coming to us today from John Daly of Champaign, Illinois.
The golfer?
Probably not the golfer.
Okay.
But John Daly of Champaign, Illinois pointed out in the email that Ernie Banks hit 5 grand slams in 1955. Jim Gentile hit 5 in 1961. But the correct answer, what Yankee hit 6. In 1987, it's Donnie Baseball. Don Mattingly is the correct answer to our Road Show Trivia Challenge.
In Champaign. He must be an Illini fan, and I'm wondering what his connection is. Perhaps he's a swing fan. Perhaps he's a baseball fan. Perhaps he's a Yankee fan.
We don't necessarily need to know his connection. We just need to let you know that we do have a winner in our Road Show Trivia Challenge. So
Wes Swackhammer fouls one away. Now ball one low from Bill Edwards.
Usually, you were sorry to step on you there, but usually the best part of the Road Show Trivia Challenge is sometimes the wrong answers that come in, people taking very good guesses or entertaining guesses. We didn't have any of that today. We got it on the first try from John Daly, and just the fact that he pointed out Ernie Banks had 5 in 1955 tells me that he's probably a Cubs fan.
And probably a walking encyclopedia.
Or at least grew up now. Jim Gentile, it was Jim, correct? I do know that name, but had the 5 also in 61. But Donnie Baseball, sweet left-handed swing and a great glove man over at first base. Is Don in the Hall of Fame yet?
He should be. Ball 2 is low. The runner steals second, and the official scorer here will call that catcher's indifference. He shouldn't, because I despise that rule. Jake Mullinex has a stolen base. Bill Edwards just missed low to Swackhammer as T.J. Stanton gets loose in the Colonel right field bullpen. Bill's 2-2. Chop foul toward the Colonel first base dugout.
Speaking of Stanton, it was Swackhammer, who's currently batting, that hit the home run against Stanton that opened things up for the Colonel, or opened things up partly for the swing in the first game of the series, but we were able to close the door on it, and that was the only run that they were able to push across.
Wes Swackhammer dumps one towards the left field line. Toussaint on the run!
Oh,
can't get it. It's a foul ball. Foul ball, and we may have an argument. I don't know if Drew just misjudged. He was there in plenty of time. Well, no, he was on the run. Let me retract that statement. Drew Toussaint was on a dead sprint, and he crossed the foul line. Straddling the foul line, he reached up, and remember, we've commented all afternoon what a wicked wind is blowing out towards left field, and perhaps Drew was good. We have to credit him for getting to the ball. The old adage, if you get a glove on it, you should catch it, didn't hold there, as Drew got a glove on it. Could not squeeze it. The next pitch to Swackhammer. Strike 3 called! Bill Edwards, 6 shutout innings. Bill Edwards, 6 shutout innings as he gets Wes Swackhammer on a fastball on the inside corner, and that strikeout for the Colonel right-hander, his 5th of the day. In the 6th inning, a 2-out hit batter and a stolen base, but no runs for the swing. No hits. There were no Colonel errors. Quad City strands a runner. They've left 8. And again, congratulations to Champaign, Illinois' John Daly, our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question winner here from Davenport. After 6, the Colonels lead the swing 5-0. This is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was a news anchor for Channel 2. You may also see me driving around Cedar Rapids in my Honda Accord. Well, I retired from broadcasting, but I haven't given up my Honda. For years, I've told friends they should consider owning a Honda, specifically from Randy Keel Honda. Randy is a local dealer with 13 years of experience in matching drivers to the right vehicle. He has a fine selection of new Hondas, as well as quality pre-owned vehicles. And more than just a reliable service department, Randy Keel Honda offers Confidence, a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle sold. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. And you can do more homework by logging on to Randy's website at www.randykeel.com. I'm a satisfied Honda owner, and I'm sure you will be too. See Randy Keel Honda today on Centerpoint Road Northeast.
You know, there are zillions of computers out there, but they all take you to the same spot, the Internet. So why would you pay AOL almost $24 a month when you can get there on Net Zero for only $9.95? With Net Zero, you get reliable, unlimited access with spam control and email virus protection, all for less than half the cost of AOL. Net Zero even ranks higher in customer satisfaction. Go to netzero.com or call 877-NET-ZERO to sign up and start saving today.
The Colonels sent 8 men to the plate, chased the swing starter Mike Parisi in their 3-run 6th inning. Bill Edwards has blanked the swing over 6 innings, and the Colonels bat in the 7th with a 5-0 lead here in Davenport on a chilly Sunday afternoon. A Colonel win would up our 8-game road trip record to Lansing and Davenport to 4-4. Nate Sutton has been quiet so far at the plate today. He's played well in the field at second. He's 0 for 3. He starts today hitting .214, and Dennis Medina, a Venezuelan right-hander, delivers outside for a ball. Medina pitched 2 innings here in the series opener Thursday night and a third of an inning in the come-from-behind swing win Friday night. He spins in a curveball for a strike. T.J. Stanton looks like he'll take over for the Colonels on the hill in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Well, TJ's been pitching very well lately, and he should come in and hopefully get a hold on this lead. It's not a save situation, so TJ may go. Who knows? He may finish the game out, but the way the bullpen has been deleted, we'll likely see at least one more Colonel hurler today, even if Stanton does come in.
Nate Sutton is gone on swinging on a changeup down and away, 1 out in the Colonel's 7th. Again, congratulations to Champaign, Illinois' John Daly, our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question winner. There was one more ironic thing about that magical 1987 season when Donnie Mattingly hit the single-season record 6 Grand Slams as a Yankee.
He'd never even had one in his career before.
Never even had a Grand Slam.
No.
That's amazing.
No Grand Slams, and then in 87, boom, 6 of them.
I know he hit number 6 off Bruce Hurst of the Red Sox.
There is a blast from the past, a big left-hander.
And I'm sure John Daly of Champaign, Illinois knew that, too. No, it's an unusual name. I remember when John Daly burst on the scene in the early 90s. He was the darling of the crowds with those 300-yard-plus drives.
The people's champion.
He won the U.S. Open, right?
That is correct. He's had some up-and-down issues in his life, substance abuse problems, but he has come through it all, and you never know what you're going to get when John Daly comes out. But the one thing that I have always heard about the golfer John Daly is the fact that he is always very friendly towards fans, very accommodating, a lot like our Colonels players, signing autographs, win or lose. Our players were stopping on the way to the bus last night, signing autographs, even after a 14-2 loss yesterday. And that's one of the things John Daly, even after hitting 10 over and putting 3 balls into the drink after a day of bad golf, is still friendly and very much appreciative towards his fans. I know he has said many times they helped him overcome his issues that he's had in his life, and he's still golfing.
Freddie Sandoval on a 3-1 delivery takes it a strike, a change-up belt tie, and Freddie's been a big reason the Colonels are ahead 5-0 in the 7th inning. Freddie doubled in the first and scored. Then he got the Colonels started in the 6th inning with a leadoff double. He has scored 2 of the Colonel 5 runs. Medina working from the stretch with 1 out and nobody on. The 3-2 pitch swung on and rifled foul into the Colonel right field bullpen.
Chris Waters having a hard time fielding the ground ball. Probably a good thing he's a pitcher.
Chris is bundled up in a mid-90s old California Angels sideline parka.
Think Angels in the outfield logo. The C and the A and the circle. We take what we can get at the Class A level, the hand-me-downs.
Todd, I want to ask you one more thing about the golfer John Daly. As the next 3-2 pitch is swung on and bounced foul to Justin Bachman.
He's trying.
The old shortstop makes the play at first. I believe it was John Daly who was teeing off on a Sunday in 1990 or 91, whatever the year was he won that U.S. Open, where a guy uttered 3 famous words after one of his drives. Swing and a miss by Freddy. The first 2 Colonels are gone on strikes in the 7th. I believe it was a fellow in the gallery after Daly teed off that said, "You demand." Well, wasn't that the guy that "You demand"?
That may very well have been.
Remember that guy?
I do remember that guy, and I don't know if I've ever heard who was attributed with the origins of that.
But I think it was Daly that was off the tee in that U.S. Open that he won.
Well, it would not surprise me if it was. John was a heck of a long ball hitter, and he had his gallery of fans. Even at the Quad Cities, where we're at right now, has the John Deere Classic every year, and John Daly has played in that a number of times and is one of the most followed golfers as Drew Toussaint looks at a ball out of the strike zone. He's ahead in the count 2-0 with 2 outs. Daly, even though he may not be in contention to win the thing, always has one of the largest crowds following him just to see him hit off the tee.
Drew Toussaint tries to tee off on a pitch and fouls it straight back. Drew's 3 for 3 today. An RBI single in the first. He's doubled twice, scored in the Kernel 3-run sixth. Toussaint trying to keep his perfect day intact. Still ahead on the count, 2-1. Dennis Medina deals in a swing and a miss on a changeup. Nobody on, 2 out in the Kernel 7th inning. Game time temperature was 47 degrees with winds 21 to 32 miles an hour blowing out to left field. It is a raw, cold Sunday. Drew Toussaint chops one foul behind his skipper coaching at third, Bobby Magallanes. There are the kids down the left field line leaning over that 3-foot-high padded wall. They finally got a baseball. They've been waiting a long time, leaning over that wall.
John, I think you have a look to give us later on in the broadcast at our upcoming series against the Snappers from Beloit. They're unfortunately no longer affiliated with the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, we'll play 4 starting tomorrow night. Tomorrow night at 6:30, Tuesday at 6:30. Toussaint skies one foul down the right field line, and the first baseman can't get to it. The wind kept it on the field of play, and it lands at the feet of a cameraman. He shouldn't be on the field. There are camera wells built into this ballpark. What he's doing on the field, I can't tell you. But
he's
yes,
the second person on the field today that doesn't belong there.
We play tomorrow night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, then the Cinco de Mayo celebration Thursday at noon, and then the 8-game homestand continues with 4 against Burlington over the weekend, and Monday night we'll wrap it up on May 9th.
As Eric Munson, our trainer, put it best on the bus today, I am so looking forward to being home for a game.
Swinging a foul by Drew Toussaint. He's proven to be a tough third out here in the Kernel 7th.
And there's Thurman popping his head out of the dugout down there with strength and conditioning coach Jake Miller. Hang loose, Rhodey. It's almost time to load the bus up.
Top of the 7th. Drew Toussaint at the plate with 2 out, nobody on, 5-0 Kernels. Medina's 2-2 is low and away, ball 3. The outfield is playing Drew to hit the other way. The swing in their white home uniforms with powder or baby blue caps, baby blue socks, baby blue sleeves, and then they have burnt orange numbers on the back of their white home jerseys. Kind of a combination of North Carolina and Texas colors. Another 3-2 to Toussaint, hammered deep to right, but this one will be caught by Wes Swackhammer. It got hung up in that vicious wind, and Drew Toussaint tomahawks one to right to end the Kernel 7th. The Kernels go in order for the first time this afternoon in the top of the 7th inning. This crowd, which is a good crowd for such cold conditions, is on their feet to enjoy the 7th inning stretch at John O'Donnell, where the Kernels lead the swing 5-0. And you're listening to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Papa John's pizza, it's so good. Better is best, that's understood. Better call Papa John's tonight. Better call Papa, he's got it right. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Papa John's.
Attention baseball fans, call your local Papa John's for our home run special. Get a large pizza with up to 3 toppings of your choice for only $9.99.
Papa John's. Better call Papa.
For just 45 cents a day, you can have 8 weeks of the Wall Street Journal delivered to your home or office every business day. That's just 45 cents a day for the insights, analysis, and news relevant to the business of your life. Every business day, the Wall Street Journal delivers the top news from every market, industry, and corner of the globe. But because life isn't just business, the Journal's innovative Personal Journal section translates today's news into the useful information you need to save time and money. From scoring travel discounts to better banking deals, Personal Journal provides practical guidance you can use. Call now and take advantage of the Journal's special introductory offer. Save 55% off the Journal's newsstand price when you order an 8-week subscription for just 45 cents a day. This offer is available for a limited time to new subscribers in the continental U.S. Don't miss out. Call 800-791-8833. That's 800-791-8833 for the Wall Street Journal.
So they sang God Bless America between the top and the bottom of the seventh inning that we're heading into.
Every Sunday, I'm told, at John O'Donnell Stadium.
T.J. Stanton has taken over on the hill. The impressive line on starter Bill Edwards, 6 shutout innings. Bill, 6 innings, no runs, surrendered 4 hits to the swing. Edwards struck out 5. He walked 2, and he hit a batter. T.J. Stanton worked earlier in this series in the win Thursday night. 1 inning, gave up 1 run on the Wes Swackhammer home run. Struck out 1, walked none. TJ's 23 years old from the University of North Florida. And Todd, TJ Stanton, a 6'5" right-hander, 230 pounds, and he has been very effective this season.
That's right. He's vultured a couple wins. He's 2-1 with a 4.85 ERA, making his 9th appearance for the Kernels. He's even got a save notched onto his belt so far this year. 13 innings pitched, 15 hits given up, 8 runs, only 7 of them earned. He has allowed a team-high 3 home runs along with Nick Touchstone. That's a little disconcerting. However, 13 strikeouts to just 3 walks. Opponents are hitting .278. He's sort of a walking contradiction. Gives up a lot of hits, strikes out a lot of batters, doesn't walk a lot of guys. Signed out of the Independent League, the Winnipeg Gold Eyes of the Northern League.
He was 5-5 with Winnipeg in 9 starts and 12 relief appearances. His skipper was former Houston manager Hal Lanier, and TJ really liked playing for Hal Lanier. Ball 1 is low to Simon Williams, who drew the only 2 walks that Bill Edwards surrendered. Physicians Clinic of Iowa here in the bottom of the 7th with the Kernels up 5-0. Proud to bring us our Physicians Clinic of Iowa injury report. Physicians Clinic of Iowa provides top-notch diagnosis and treatment of any injuries the Kernels incur. Ball 2 is low to Simon Williams. There are 3 Kernels sidelined. We talked about Clifton Remele making good progress with a strained right oblique muscle. He may be back within the next week. TJ's behind the pesky number 9 hitter, 3-0. And Josh LeBlanc is hurt, out of action for a long time with a broken hamate bone in his left hand. Mitch Arnold shelved with a sore right elbow. Those are the 3 Kernels that are on the DL. Physicians Clinic of Iowa with our injury report. TJ fires a strike.
John, I should mention that John Daly has sent a couple more emails in and pointed out that John Daly, the golfer, won at Crooked Stick, that he won the PGA championship in 1991.
Not the U.S. Open.
Not the U.S. Open. And
here's a bouncer to short. Billy Boyer down to get it, loses the handle, throws not in time. Second error charge to Billy. Billy lost the handle as that ball took kind of a dip on him, and Billy backhanded it and then threw late. Simon Williams back to his old tricks of creating havoc from his number 9 position in the swing batting order. Boy, that's a shame. T.J. Stanton was behind him 3-0, came back and on a 3-1 pitch got him to wrap it to short, but Billy Boyer was charged with his second error of this day. They've given the batter a hit.
And I believe so. Kernan Ronan and Bobby Magianis both looking up at the press box.
Yeah, we can't. I'm sorry, guys. We cannot help out at this point. Actually, let's see. I have... Bill Edwards. I have...
Nothing may have been changed yet.
I have Bill Edwards. I made a mistake. Bill Edwards gave up 5 hits in his 6 innings. I don't think they've ruled on it yet, but that's got to be an error. That cannot be a base hit. Runner at first, Simon Williams. We'll call it E6.
There's only one error showing on the board right now for either team, and that was Billy Boyer's.
Well, no, they didn't charge Boyer with an error earlier. I'm sorry, Todd. They did not charge him with an error earlier, to my knowledge. Now they have. So they got that call right. Here's a drive foul by Lemancic, 0-2. I apologize. I thought earlier this afternoon Billy Boyer was charged with an error. He was not. He now has been. So Bill Edwards did give up 5 hits. The runner is on an error to start the 7th inning.
Not to get back and dwell on John Daly too much. People at home are probably thinking, why are these two idiots talking about John Daly so much?
We're glad to hear from him.
But John,
we're glad to hear from him.
We'll wait until after this pitch that's a throw over to first base.
Ooh.
Perfect time to let everyone know that John says he enjoys the coaches' shows and Kernels baseball on the Zone. He also supports Iowa football and basketball, except when they play the Illini. He listens to the Zone from Champaign, Illinois on the Internet. That is amazing.
John, thank you.
We do appreciate it.
Curveball is slapped to short. They won't get 2 with Lemancic running, but Billy Boyer does a fine job gloving it and flips to second, and Simon Williams is fourth, 6'4". Matt Lemancic reaches on a fielder's choice, and T.J. Stanton trying to pitch around an error that opened up this swing 7th, gets Lemancic to hit into a force out. Now Matt Lemancic, with his club down 5-0, still may try to steal a base here with Matt Shepard 2 for 3 at the plate.
Well, I would think if I were Joe Cunningham, I'd do anything to try to light a spark under my team right now, including having my best base stealer go.
TJ misses just low with the fastball. The Swing have a right-hander up in their left field bullpen, and that right-hander is Michael Gross. Todd and I are very insulated from the elements, and I'll tell you one of the only design flaws we've seen in this new stadium.
But it's a good one on a day like today.
Here's a high drive into deep center. Rodriguez is turning every which way to glove it on the warning track. Sean Rodriguez continues to shine in center field. That ball hit by Shepard got up into that jet stream we've talked about and turned Rodriguez 3 different directions, but Sean was able to get the rope out and corral it, lasso it in on the warning track about 395 feet away for the second out of the 7th inning. Let's see. Oh, Todd, tell the listeners about the only design flaw in this ballpark.
The main windows in the press box do not open up. We have
strike one call to Jarrett Hoffpauir.
We have 2 smaller windows, rectangular shaped above us, that pull up and out, and they are sealed off by a screen, but the large window here, the viewing window in front of us, does not open at all. So we are very sheltered inside the booth.
A line drive carries into shallow left where Drew Toussaint misplays it. It skips by him. A run will score. And all the way to second goes Hoffpauir. The runner scores from first with 2 outs to make it 5-1.
That'll be an error on Toussaint in left field.
Drew Toussaint came in and tried to take a sinking liner off the top of his shoes. I think they're going to award the batter with a base hit, but could be a hit and an error.
They are awarding it a hit.
Could be a hit and an error, but they just make it a double. Why not? They give Jarrett Hoffpauir doubles all the time.
And my new best friend, Kernan Ronan, just shot a glance up towards me from the Kernel dugout and gave me one of those looks.
It'll be
one of those what can we possibly do looks.
It'll be an unearned run scored by the Swing to make it 5-1. More importantly, they have a runner at second, and the batter is hit. The batter is hit. Mike Ferris winds up getting hit in the left hip, and he glances out at T.J. Stanton. Ferris, after being struck, belly flopped across the plate. The last thing T.J. Stanton would want to do in this situation is hit a batter, but he did.
Exactly, John, especially with Derry Hammond coming up to bat.
And now the Kernels are facing some real threats. As Todd said, Hammond, a home run yesterday, is nothing for 3 today. Jarrett Hoffpauir lined one moments ago into left. It was a sinking liner, and Drew Toussaint came in, reached down, got a glove on it, then it squirted about 30 feet behind him.
The Quad City trainer will now attend to Ferris at first base. I can't imagine he would be in that much pain from being hit by the off-speed pitch. But, John, we should take the time to point out that we've discussed some scoring decisions over the last couple broadcasts, and discussing things with our coaching staff. They did point out that here at the Quad Cities, the official scorer does take the box score down to the locker room after the game and ask if there are any questions. He then explains in detail to the coaching staff why he ruled the way he ruled. So if there are issues with the way this game was scored, as there were yesterday, he stands up to it and takes the heat from the coaching staff. I know different ballparks do things differently. Some run it out and put it on the box score on the seat of the bus. Others have someone else, say the sports information director, take the box scores down to the clubhouses after the game is over. But here in the Quad Cities, the official scorer fesses up and faces the music, and he will most likely face a little bit of pleasant music from Kernan Ronan. I don't think Kernan has a bad bone in his body, but there will be a discussion, let's put it that way.
Gary Hammond fouls one over the backstop right back here, strike one. Matt Lemancic scored on the ball that fell in front of Drew Toussaint, then dribbled behind him. Lemancic with 2 outs scored on a double credited to Jarrett Hoffpauir. Hoffpauir has 3 more hits in this game. He has 4 doubles in the series, and he leads away at second with Ferris at first. A pitch outside, a snap throw.
Oh, no.
Snap throw into right field. One runner goes to third. The other man holds it first. Now a man scores as the right fielder lobs it in. Jordan Wren lobs it into the infield, and the Kernels are coming unglued here in the 7th inning. Sloppy play by the Kernels in this inning. Jarrett Hoffpauir scores on an error, a throwing error by Tommy Duenas. He threw it past first. No need to throw down there. E2, and then Jordan Renz went to sleep and lobbed the ball in to Nate Sutton as Jarrett Hoffpauir never broke stride, and the Kernel lead is now 5-2. And Derry Hammond with the stick in his hand bats with a runner at first and 2 out. You could hear Todd groan and wince.
I'm moaning and groaning, but Quad City deserves credit for being heads up and realizing that the Kernels
is far from over.
The Kernels were being lazy, and they made a heads-up play and went for home.
A high pop fly into shallow right. Nate Sutton out into shallow right to glove it, and we're out of the inning. T.J. Stanton pitches around 2 errors, but he does give up a pair of unearned runs in the 7th inning on 1 hit. 2 Kernel errors. The swing leave a runner on. They've left 9. Derry Hammond pops out the second to end the swing 7th inning. Brand new ball game as we go to the top of the 8th. Kernels 5, Quad City 2. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Phil Mickelson's figured out how to beat Tiger Woods head-to-head.
It has not ever worked yet. Don't get me wrong. It's not a plan that's worked yet.
But it may someday, and he let Dan Patrick in on the secret.
If he hit his iron shots first, he was so good, he would put it inside me and put more pressure.
You know what? That's interesting philosophy that he put even more pressure because he's hitting his irons before you because you've outdriven him.
Well, not all the time was I able to do that, but when I was trying to go toe-for-toe with him off the tee, he would put even more pressure on me with his iron play, plus trying to drive it that long and keep up with them. I was hitting it a lot more wild, more crooked, missing fairways by a larger margin, which didn't put any pressure on him at all. So for me, when I got paired with him head-to-head at Doral, and I think in the future I'm going to take 20 yards off the tee shot, try to hit cuts in the fairway so that puts pressure off on his tee shots, and also I'm able to hit my iron shots first, which has been my biggest strength the last year and a half, and hopefully put a little more pressure on him.
The Dan Patrick Show on ESPN Radio.
All across Eastern Iowa, more and more people hear this sound at the scene of breaking news. Newscopter 9, bringing you the news anywhere, anytime. Newscopter 9 has the speed and mobility to be on the scene of breaking news in minutes, bringing you live reports with its exclusive bird's-eye view of the story as it unfolds. Newscopter 9, taking news coverage to new heights, only from your 24-hour news source, KCRG TV 9.
A new hurler is in for the swing of the Quad Cities. 23-year-old right-hander Michael Gross. Dennis Medina an inning and 2/3, no runs. He gave the Kernels 1 hit, struck out 2, and he walked none. Michael Gross is a huge man, Todd, 6'4", 235.
Yes. He has gotten rid of the beard and the sweater vest that he wore on Family Ties, one of my all-time favorite shows. No trucker hat as he wore in Tremors. He is wearing the powder blue uniform of the swing, the white uniform with the powder blue sleeves and socks. You should be accustomed to that as he was attending the University of North Carolina, the Tar Heels that wear the same powder blue.
Gross misses outside, ball 1 to Ben Johnson. Ben has 2 sacrifice flies. driven in 2 of the Colonel 5 runs. 5-2 Kernels, top of the 8th. And ball 2 is low to the switch hitter batting left. Ben Johnson, Michael Gross, 0-3 on the year, out of the swing bullpen for the team high 11th time. A 6.75 ERA. In 12 innings, he's given up 12 hits. He spins a fastball in on the outside edge, strike 1 called to Ben Johnson. Gross has struck out 6 batters in 12 innings, walked 7, the league hitting .261 against the right-hander, as Todd said, from the University of North Carolina. Strike 2 called to Ben Johnson.
Well, John, now that the game is 5-2, there's no activity down in the Colonel bullpen, so it looks like T.J. Stanton will pitch the 8th. And then I think we would have to assume that Frederick Deloitte-Gacarni would come on and pitch the 9th in search of yet another save this season.
We need some more runs. There's a pitch pulverized into left center. The swing had Johnson played perfectly. Simon Williams on the run in the left center field alley caught it. Ben Johnson got good wood on it, but lines out to left center. 1 out in the 8th inning. Time for our Colonel Did You Know question here from Davenport. We've had a lot of fun bringing you the action starting on Thursday night. Great to have Todd with all his insights, including his story today about the movie the Colonels will be watching on their Tri-State Travel Motor Coach later this afternoon, Road to Perdition. It was based on a story, a real gangster character here across the river in Rock Island. Swing and a miss by Aaron Peel,
former newspaper publisher.
Peel is 0-for-1 with a pair of walks and a run scored. We'll give you our Did You Know question here in a moment. Ball 1 inside to Peel. Did you know that the 2 largest crowds here at John O'Donnell Stadium were not for baseball games? And we'll give you those 2 crowds. And remember now, they used the field. They couldn't fit all these people into the stands. Ball 2, a curve outside.
No, all right.
A 1940 campaign appearance by Republican presidential nominee Wendell Willkie drew 14,000 here on this ground. Back in 1940, 9 years after the stadium opened, it was still called Municipal Stadium. Peel a deep drive to left. Out she goes. Adios. Onto the grass slope seating berm. Number 3 for Aaron Peel. Peel clubs a solo home run with 1 out here in the 8th inning, and that gives the Colonels a 6-2 lead.
That was a poke, a little wind aided. He got it up in the jet stream, but that ball would have been out of most any park in the Midwest League. Aaron Peel on the heels of Warner Madrigal for that team lead in home runs buys a little insurance. Now it's not a saved situation with the Colonels up by 4, and we'll see how Bobby and Kernan choose to handle the pitching staff from here on out.
Jordan Renz had a big RBI single that gave the Colonels a 4-0 lead in their 3-run 6th inning. The Colonels are up now 6-2. And as Todd said, Aaron Peel with his 3rd home run, just 1 behind team leader Warner Madrigal, who's getting this afternoon off. The other largest crowd here at John O'Donnell Stadium, not for a baseball game, country music legend Johnny Cash played to a jammed John O'Donnell Municipal Stadium in 1974. 16,000 people were here to hear Johnny Cash at what was then Municipal Stadium. Now, they changed it to John O'Donnell, I think, in the early 70s. I can't remember.
It was most likely, well, that's right on the cusp, John. We'd have to look that one up. But here at this stadium, in this location anyway, 16,000 to see the man in black.
Johnny Cash. They put all sorts of folks on the field as well as in the grandstand, and that, along with the campaign appearance of Wendell Willkie back in 1940 of 14,000 through 14,000, the 2 biggest crowds to witness events here on the banks of the Mississippi at John O'Donnell. Renz takes a pitch just outside from big Michael Gross, and it's ball 3, a full count to Jordan Renz. Top of the 8th, 6-2 Colonels. We've out-hit the swing 9-6.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
Jordan tips one foul to the on-deck circle. You know, Johnny Cash, who first lost his wife and then he passed on, I believe he overcame a battle with the bottle.
That battle with the bottle and other substances that he abused.
But what a legend he was with that long black hair. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Renz is gone on a curveball. 2 away in the Colonel 8th inning. God, that's the thing about these stadiums. And I haven't even talked about the exciting news that's going to...
I thought you were setting to take credit. Don't mention that you haven't talked about it. I thought you were setting things up, setting the stage. Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson coming to Veterans Memorial Stadium Saturday, July 9th. Tickets are $51 a piece for that. That includes all taxes and handling charges, $51.
And I hear that ticket sales are going very briskly.
They have not gone on sale yet. Now, we need to point that out.
Suite reservations.
Suite reservations are going very briskly. The tickets are all general admission. They go on sale May 7th at 10 a.m. You can get them through Ticketmaster, all outlets, including Hy-Vee, local Hy-Vees. You can also call the Kernels ticket office at 896-7560. Again, tickets do not go on sale until May 7th, and they are all general admission. So, it really, as Tommy Duenas looks at a big curveball from Michael Gross to move the count to 2-1, it's really first come, first serve, not to get the tickets, but on the night when we open the gates for the ballpark. And we are expecting a big, big crowd that night. It should be a very fun evening.
The 2-1 to Tommy is nubbed foul behind the plate. Tommy Duenas is flown to left, struck out, popped to short. It's 6-2 Kernels. Aaron Peel has belted his third home run of the season here in the 8th inning off 6'4", 235-pound Michael Gross. Man, is he a load. I'm surprised that Roy Williams didn't find him.
John, I'll pose the question. Bob Dylan or Willie Nelson? If you had to only choose one, which would you choose?
Well, Bud, I have to try to be honest, and I will. Here's ball 3. I'm glad that we landed the concert. I'm not a fan of either one, but that's just me. I'd rather go here.
Now, see, for me, it would be too hard of a choice, and I would defer answering the question.
I'd rather hear Mitch Miller or Lawrence Welk, but that's just my taste, or maybe even a...
Come on, get in the gap.
Perry Como. Here's a drive into left, and it's caught by Matt Lemancic. Tommy Duenas hit it on the nose, but lines it into left. Todd would have a tough time picking between Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan, but as
You get them both.
You'll get them both, and perhaps we can have Herb Alpert or Perry Como or Johnny Mathis. I love those artists, but of course I'm a relic of the past. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Kernels lead the swing 6-2 in Davenport. You're enjoying Kernel baseball in the zone.
Yes, spring is here. So is the bulky item cleanup in Cedar Rapids. Only specific wood and plastic articles are being accepted. The complete list is on the flyer you recently received in the mail. Be sure to check that flyer before putting out any items for city crews when they come to your neighborhood. If you have appliances, tires, and scrap metal you want to get rid of at no charge, follow the instructions on the back of the flyer. This reminder from your friends at Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling.
People say that I can't decide things. They are so wrong, but I could be wrong about that.
A U.S. Bank check card with checking that pays gives you a choice of rewards, like cash, points for merchandise and gift certificates, World Perks miles, or even sweepstakes entries.
Easy decision. I'll take the cash. No, the sweep.
Sign up at your local U.S. Bank or call 1-800-720-BANK.
I've made up my mind to put off my decision. That is final.
U.S. Bank.
No, wait.
See banker for complete details. Member FDIC.
Hi, it's Larry King. Did you know that drinking a glass of delicious Welch's grape juice every day can actually help keep your heart healthy? It was news to me. But studies have shown that because Welch's 100% grape juice is made from antioxidant-rich Concord grapes with no added sugar, it's actually good for your heart. In fact, Welch's grape juice has twice the antioxidant power of orange juice. But who's counting? I'm too busy enjoying the taste. Welch's grape juice. Isn't it nice to know that something as good as Welch's is good for your heart, too?
We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Kernels struck for 2 in the first this afternoon, and then added 3 in the 6th to take a 5-0 lead. The swing countered with a pair in the bottom of the 7th. Aaron Peel homered in the top of this 8th inning to make it 6-2. T.J. Stanton, in relief of starter Bill Edwards, surrendered 2 unearned runs in the bottom of the 7th inning, and now he'll face left-handed hitting catcher Brandon Yarborough. Playing well off the line at third is Freddy Sandoval. He's even with the bag, about 15 feet off the line. And T.J. Stanton delivers low and in, ball 1 to Brandon Yarborough, a 136 batting left-handed hitting catcher. Ball 2 floats outside from TJ. The Kernels have Frederick Deloitte-Gacarni tossing in their right field bullpen, and the Swing are countering with a southpaw in their left field bullpen. Kevin Uhl. Ball 3 from Stanton.
We've seen Uhl, and the fact that he's warming up may bring drool to the mouths of Cedar Rapids hitters. They hit him fairly hard in his last appearance. He's a 5.40 ERA against the Kernels so far this season.
Yarborough thought he'd walked. He was about to discard the bat toward the Swing third base dugout, but took a strike at the knees. As Todd mentioned earlier, with the wind whipping out towards left field, there are some whitecaps on the Mississippi River. There's strike two.
And you got to keep that bat on your shoulder, Yarborough. Umpires do not like it. He dropped the barrel of the bat down and again thought he was on his way to first. It would be only fitting if Stanton struck him out here.
Ooh, TJ missed over but low, ball 4. So a leadoff walk issued by the Colonel's 6'5" right-hander TJ Stanton. That brings up Jake Mullinax, 1 on, nobody out, and Kernan Ronan, the Colonel pitching coach, out to the hill, talking about that campaign appearance in this ballpark by Wendell Wilkie back in 1940. 14,000 came out. And Todd, unfortunately, the reason the stump campaign appearances don't draw quite that many people anymore, well, there are 2 reasons. One is television. People can get sound bites, 7-second sound bites on their evening news of the stump speeches. And secondly, quite frankly, because of the war on terror, the Secret Service that accompanies the major candidates during the campaign season, they have to be very... Here's a drive off the end of the bat into right center. Sean Rodriguez has done it all out there, and he lassos this one in. That's his 4th putout. Mullinax flies to right center where Rodriguez tracked it down. The Secret Service, unfortunately, they just can't afford to let 14,000 people come in. I remember when President Bush visited Knoll Ridge Park that you almost had to be invited to watch him.
Well, that's the way it works now for both political candidates. I don't believe in these quote-unquote town hall meetings that our current president has, because these people are hand-picked and hand-selected, and both parties do it. It's just it's a shame that they pull the wool over the eyes of the American people. But you're right. It's you have to basically support the candidate.
A bouncer up the middle. Sutton has it, underhands to Boyer for 1.
Got it.
Billy to first, and the Kernels have turned an inning-ending double play. Billy Boyer took the toss from Nate Sutton near the bag at second, and the force out of Yarborough. Billy then on to first to complete an inning-ending 4-6-3 twin killing. That's the first double play the Kernels have turned this afternoon. In the 8th, no runs for Quad City, a leadoff walk. There were no hits, and the Kernels committed no errors. They turned a double play. Nobody left for the Swing, who have left 9 men in 8 at-bats. We go to the top of the 9th inning, and the Kernels on top of Quad City, 6-2. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was news anchor for Channel 2. Now, with gas prices at $2 a gallon, check out Randy Kill Honda and save with great fuel mileage on all Hondas in stock. The safest family sedan, the Honda Accord, will definitely save the family pocketbook with 34 miles to the gallon. Get even better mileage with a compact Civic, getting you there at 38 miles to the gallon. Or check the amazing fuel mileage of the Honda Civic Hybrid, 48 miles to the gallon, and that's in city driving. Randy Kill Honda has a large selection of pre-owned Hondas, too, all with exceptional fuel mileage. Check them out at www.randykiel.com. Also, Randy Kiel offers a 7-year, 100,000-mile confidence guarantee on new vehicles. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. I'm saving on gas prices by driving my Honda, and you can too. See Randy Kiel Honda on Center Point Road Northeast.
When it comes to fun in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, nothing compares to the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub. As you bask in the soothing comfort of the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub, you'll be taking in the action from a breathtaking perch just above the left field wall. Register for your chance to be drawn as the winner of the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub by visiting Westdale Mall.
Our guest before yesterday's game here in Davenport, Billy Boyer, joined us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. Billy's in the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup today, and he's contributed with an RBI single, made a couple of dandy plays at shortstop, and he takes low from Michael Gross, who worked the eighth inning, surrendering a home run to Aaron Peel. A curve, and that one's dribbled foul behind the plate. Billy even on the count. 1-1.
So good to see Billy get that base hit in his last at-bat.
Sure was. Billy is a terrific young guy, a hard worker, and a fierce competitor. He's not wearing batting gloves on this November-like Sunday afternoon to open up May, rather. We put April behind us. Ball too low to Billy Boyer.
We don't want anyone to think at home that we have our favorite players or anything, but we are fans of Billy Boyer. It's okay to admit that. He just has the mentality that you look at the kid and say, how can you not like him? He's the best word to describe a guy, I think, is ball player. And Billy Boyer is a ball player. He has overcome a lot of obstacles from last year when he was admittedly overmatched a little in this league. He's gotten bigger, he's gotten stronger, and now he's working out the kinks of hitting exclusively right-handed.
He goes down swinging on a pitch down and in from Michael Gross. 1 out here in the top of the ninth inning. The Kernels are trying to up their season record on the road to an impressive 8-7, trying to go 4-4 on this 8-game road trip that started, believe it or not, a week ago Saturday with a game snowed out in Lansing, Michigan.
Well,
first pitch to Sean Rodriguez is a strike call, the fastball at the knees.
It's almost cold enough to snow today. It feels like it anyway. But Lansing, as you said, some players on the team had never seen snow before. Probably their only chance to see it this year. And
strike two is Sean Rodriguez. Took a breaking pitch on the outside corner.
We certainly don't want to see any more of it around here, especially with an 8-game homestand coming up. But
the 0-2 to Sean. Strike three called. Good morning, good noon, good night. Sean displeased with the plate umpire Jeff Lascola, but there are 2 out in the Colonel ninth. Todd, I'm a little bit surprised that the press crew here at John O'Donnell hasn't brought us the attendance yet.
Well, we'll see. I have not seen anyone. Perhaps they're still counting cold bodies here at the ballpark. By cold bodies, I'm not referring to the place as a morgue. People are just very, very chilly today.
And
blankets and
an impressive turnout for such a raw day.
Blankets and bundles and stocking caps. And that's just in the Colonel's dugout.
1-1, the count to Nate Sutton, who's 0 for 4 in this game. The wind is one of the reasons it's so bitterly cold here this afternoon. We had a little bit of sun this morning in the city of Five Seasons, but none here on the banks of the Mississippi. There's ball too low to Nate Sutton. He came in 11 games, batting .214. He has 4 hits in this series, but none today. Now he might. A ground ball sharply hit back to the mound, and firing to first, Michael Gross. He took a hit away from Nate Sutton, who wrapped it hard right back at the box. Down in order go the Kernels in the top of the ninth. As we go to the bottom of the ninth, it's the Kernels leading Quad City 6-2. This is Colonel Baseball in the zone.
How would you like your next home buying or selling experience and lending process to be handled beautifully under one roof? If that's the way you want your real estate and mortgage needs to be met, select Todd Financial Services. Securing your loan and helping you find or sell your home is what Todd Financial Services does better than traditional banks and real estate firms. You'll be fully informed, supported, and taken care of so that buying, selling, or financing your home will be a pleasurable experience. Todd Financial Services, eager to meet all of your mortgage and real estate needs under one roof.
Sony, makers of the first home video system, the first CD player, and of course, the Walkman, has another great innovation, the Sony Card Credit Card. Apply today and transform your ordinary purchases into extraordinary rewards from Sony. Every time you use the Sony Card, you get one step closer to getting the things you want, because every dollar you spend earns Sony reward points. Good for CDs, DVDs, digital cameras, TVs, all the Sony electronics you may be dreaming of. And the Sony Card comes with all the features you deserve in a credit card, with a competitive APR and no annual fee. When you apply now, you'll even get a $50 credit to your account after your first purchase. Additional terms and conditions apply. Call for details. Don't wait. Turn your everyday purchases into Sony products with the Sony Card. This offer is available to applicants in the U.S. only. You must be 18 years or older to apply. Call 800-254-5858. That's 800-254-5858.
T.J. Stanton pitched solidly out of the Colonel bullpen in relief of starter Bill Edwards. T.J. 2 innings pitched, surrendered 2 runs, none earned on 1 hit. He struck out none, walked 1, and hit a batter. Frederick Deloiziga-Carney is on to try to help nail this one down for Bill Edwards. 6-2 Kernels. A crowd of 2,608 braving the elements of this raw, chilly first day of May. Simon Williams, the number 9 hitter, has walked twice and reached on an error.
John Beloit will finish up their home series against the Wizards of Fort Wayne tonight and leave for Cedar Rapids around 8:30. And it may be a long bus ride to Cedar Rapids for the Snappers. They trail 5-2 in the top of the 9th against the San Diego Padre affiliates.
Frederick Deloiziga-Carney misses low ball 1. Deloiziga-Carney pitched a scoreless 9th inning here in the Colonel 4-1 win Thursday night to notch his 3rd save. This is not a save situation for the tall right-hander out of Littleton, Colorado. Frederick Deloiziga-Carney. There's ball 2 to Simon Williams. We'll be glad to get rid of this guy for at least a while. He has been murder on Colonel pitching. The number 9 hitter, Simon Williams. Carney. Frederick Deloiziga-Carney delivers a fastball in for a strike. The Colonel outfield is deep. Toussaint in left, Rodriguez, who has sparkled defensively, in center, and Jordan Renz in right. Simon Williams has 4 hits in this series, and he's reached base 3 times today. Ball 3 below the knees. 6 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors committed by the Kernels. The Swing, entering their bottom of the 9th, have 2 runs on 6 hits. They have not committed an error. Look out, a pitch hammered foul into the first base stands, and let's see if everybody's okay. Colonel equipment manager gives the okay sign from down in the Colonel dugout.
Nothing's okay about that.
Now Deloiziga-Carney with his payoff offering to the number 9 hitter. Swing and a little poke down the right field line. It's trouble, it's trouble, it's trouble. It's a fair ball and a single. Well, that number 9 hitter has worn us out. Simon Williams hit one off the end of the bat, a Texas League flare that landed fair by a foot down the right field line. And that's how the 9th inning starts for the Swing. Now they have the top of their order up in a 6-2 game in favor of the Colonels. I'll give Frederick Deloiziga-Carney his due. He made Simon Williams earn his way on, and Williams now has 5 hits in the series. How does a guy hitting 9th just totally own the series against you? I don't know. I can't answer it. Ball 1 inside to Matt Lemancic. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 2-run 7th.
Time is of the order for the Swing of the Quad Cities. Lemancic will see what he can do here. This is a little scary, but when you're facing a guy who has an ERA of 0.79, you know you're going to have a struggle on your hands to push even 1 run, let alone the 5 they would need to win the ball game across. There's the Colonel equipment manager again. And he's giving a ball out. That's
Interesting. Deloitte Kearney has an even count now on Matt Lemancic. 1 ball, 1 strike. As Matt fouled one back. Frederick working from the stretch. Runner at first, nobody out. The next pitch. Gee, right
yeah,
call.
That's a beauty.
At the knees, on the outside corner.
I don't know which throw was better, Kearney's fastball down the outside corner or Ron Pline's toss into the stands of a changeup to a young fan. I know which one I could have hit out of the ballpark, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, here's a slider low to the leadoff batter. 2-2 the count. The Kernels' Ben Johnson is holding Simon Williams at first. 6-2 Kernels, bottom of the 9th inning here in Davenport. A Kernel win would make it a 4-4 road trip. Lemancic drives one in the air to shallow right, and Wren can't get it. It falls. A throw to second is high and over the head of the shortstop, who takes a tumble. Billy Boyer, he's all right. Backing up the play was Freddy Sandoval. So the swing of Saul Frederick Deloitte Kearney, the quotient has been 2 hits to right field. First and second, nobody out, and the batter Matt Shepard. Let's see if Frederick can get that all-important first out here in the 9th inning. Jordan Renz was playing extremely deep and had to pull up on that ball. Boy, we have a lot of balls land at the feet of our outfielders.
Especially in right field.
That's not a criticism at all. Just, it seems like we've had a lot just land right in front of us.
Sometimes you flip a coin 5 times and it turns up heads all 5 times, and right field has turned up more often than not today for the
ball one low to Matt Shepard. He's 2 for 4.
A very busy Jordan Wren. He's lost probably 1.5 pounds in the outfield today, chasing those fly balls.
Shepard, a switch hitter, batting left with a .254 mark on the season. Shoots one foul over the backstop. There are a ton of kids, probably a Little League team, dressed in red pullover jackets waiting beside the swing dugout for autographs after this game. Remember, your team can take the field before every Kernel game. We'll select a Little League softball or T-ball team. Well, we won't select them. You can call us and be the Cost Cutters Dream Team. Now we're in trouble. Ball 3 to Matt Shepard, up and in from Deloitte Kearney. The Dream Team, the Cost Cutters Dream Team, has the thrill of taking the diamond before a Kernel home game and standing with the Kernels for the national anthem and getting an autograph from the player they stand with. Now the bases, ball, what was that pitch? I guess the scoreboard was wrong. Now it's 3-1 to the batter. Kernels trying to prevent the swing from bringing the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th. The Kernels lead it 6-2, but 2 on with nobody out. The batter, Matt Shepard, takes a strike. It's a full count now. Frederick Deloitte Kearney, not working in a save situation. Scott Unash, the programming director at the Zone, abhors having to bring in a closer to finish a game if it's not a closing situation. Scott thinks that leads to more trouble than not. Ground ball off the glove of Ben Johnson. Throw to second.
Keep
that batter or that runner safe. Bases loaded, nobody out. Yeah, Ben made a fine play backhanding that hard hit smash. I thought it was under his glove. Here comes Kernan Ronan. The Kernels are in a heap of trouble now. Bases loaded, nobody out, and the big guys coming up for the swing. It's never, ever, ever easy, is it? A base hit to the right side.
The bottom of the order kills you, and the heart of the order just drives the dagger even deeper.
6-2 Kernels, and the tying run will bat here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Frederick Deloitte Kearney has given up successive singles to Williams, Lemancic, and Shepard. There was a close play at second as Ben Johnson backhanded that ball off the bat of Shepard, and Ben lost the handle, then flipped to Billy Boyer, but somehow Matt Lemancic beat the throw, and now the bases are loaded for Jarrett Hoffpauir. Yeah, Scott Unash has pointed out time and time again over the years that it's very tough for a closer to come into a game with a 4-run lead, and you may be scratching your head and saying, what? Wouldn't you rather have a 4-run lead than a 1-run lead? Here's a high pop foul out of play as Frederick Deloitte-Gacarny gets ahead of Hoffpauir 0-1, but Scott's Point is one of adrenaline, Todd, and closers are like a raging bull when they come out of the bullpen. They like the pressure. They thrive on the pressure.
Well, Deloitte-Gacarny has put himself into a lot of pressure right here.
Ball one is high. Frederick's body language indicating that he's not pleased so far with his ninth inning. He kind of slumped his shoulders over when he missed with that pitch high. Hoffpauir has 3 hits today.
This guy's a kernel killer, John. I've got a bad feeling here.
Well, let's hope for a strikeout pop-up or double play.
Double play.
There's strike 2.
Beautiful.
Strike 2 to Jarrett Hoffpauir. As Todd said, he has really feasted on Kernel pitching in this series. Hoffpauir has, in this series, 8 hits. 8 hits in 4 games, including 3 today. 1-2, though, the count. Let's see if Frederick Deloitte-Gacarny can get him.
Outside.
Yes, it was. Ball 2 outside. That's
Tommy Duenas setting up outside.
And that's where the pitch was.
Trying to get Hoffpauir to chase.
It's 6-2, but the Swing have loaded the bases with nobody out here in their bottom of the 9th inning. Fouls into the screen. The 2-2 pitch. Hoffpauir fouled it straight back. On deck, Mike Ferris and Derry Hammond. We've got our hands full here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Frederick Deloitte-Gacarny walks to the back side of the hill, onto the grass, turns his back to home plate. He's working from the stretch. He's now back on top of the rubber. Peers in to get his sign from Tommy Duenas. Perhaps the game's biggest pitch is headed home. Drive into left. Toussaint cannot get it. It skips by him, and 1 run is in. Another man's in. Another man tries for third. We could get him.
We got him.
He's out at third. Out at third. Out at third. Out at third. And the score is 6-4. A runner at second. Credit Jarrett Hoffpauir with another hit, his 9th of the series. He lined one into shallow left. It skipped off the glove of Drew Toussaint. Simon Williams scored to make it 6-3. Matt Lemancic scored from second to make it 6-4. Matt Shepard, trying to go from first to third, was thrown out, and I'll have to have Todd figure out how the play went.
It's a double for Hoffpauir.
His 9th hit of the series. Another double, and the man was out at third. I believe it went 8 Rodriguez to 5 Sandoval. There's Sean Rodriguez again.
8-5, yes.
A huge throw by Rodriguez. Otherwise, the tying runs are at second and third with nobody out. Instead, the tying run at the plate, runner at second, 1 out. A ground ball to Carney. He snares it, looks the runner back to second, tosses the batter out. The batter was Mike Ferris. Or was that Mike Ferris? That was that was not Mike Ferris. That batter was a pinch hitter, and that batter who sneaked in on us is Juan Lucena. Juan Lucena has grounded back to the hill, pinch hitting for Mike Ferris. Ferris unable to bat because of hurting on that hit by pitch in the 7th inning. So it was Lucena pinch hitting who grounded out. Now the Kernels are 1 out away from a victory, even though we've been out hit 10-9. Derry Hammond swings and misses. He's the tying run at the plate. Right now, the Kernels are winning this game because of Sean Rodriguez's defense. It's that simple. Sean Rodriguez is the reason the Kernels are ahead in this game. The 0-1 from Frederick Deloitte-Gacarny misses just low for a ball. 6-4 Kernels. We've been out hit 10-9. The Swing have 4 hits in the 9th inning, and they've scored 2 runs. But there are 2 out. Jarrett Hoffpauir at second. Lucena, the pinch hitter, rolled out to the mound. Hammond fouls one off the end of the bat. That's strike 2. That's strike 2. Oh, brother, this one's coming down to the wire. 6-4 Kernels, runner at second, 2 out. Bottom of the 9th inning. Frederick Deloitte-Gacarny leaning in, has his sign. Derry Hammond is 0 for 4 today. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and the Kernels have won it 6-4. Swing and a miss by the batter, and the Kernels win it 6-4. In the ninth, the Swing strike for 2 runs on 4 hits. No Colonel errors. Quad City leaves a runner. They stay stranded 10, and the Kernels indeed do gain a split in the series to go 4-4 on an 8-game road trip. Gary Hammond strikes out to end it. 6-4 Kernels, totals and highlights and more coming your way next on the Colonel Curtain Call. This is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Hello? Yeah, this is Aaron from Georgia. I just wanted to tell Colin that he's a genius, man.
Oh, hold on. Let me get Colin for you. Stay there. I'll get Colin
right
for you.
next to you.
Hold on. Let me.
Colin, come here.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, well, go ahead. This is Colin.
Colin, man, you're a genius. I agree totally with you about the pitching stuff.
Thank you. I feel like I'm a genius.
Don't be left out of The Herd. Only on ESPN Radio.
Honey, do I have to go to your family reunion? I mean, how many times can Aunt Agatha tell me about skydiving with monkeys?
It'll be different this time.
Cousin Bob won't talk about his nose hair?
North Country Steakhouse will be catering.
No way.
I can smell the steaks on the grill already. I wonder what kind of potatoes they'll have, baked, fried, or their famous garlic mash.
Aunt Agatha used to skydive with monkeys. Who knew?
North Country Steakhouse. Call 378-3970 to have us cater your next event, because good food conquers all.
Can I come, please?
Uncle Joe is making the Statue of Liberty out of cereal boxes.
Awesome, let's go.
It's time for the Colonel's Curtain Call, right here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League Scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Colonel's game, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonel, the one, the only John Rogers, here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
And with Colonel Director of Media Relations Todd Brummelkamp alongside, we're happy to report that the Colonels bounced back from a 14-2 drubbing yesterday and won this afternoon in impressive fashion, 6-4 over the Swing of the Quad Cities. The Colonels scored 2 in the top of the first inning off starter and loser Mike Parisi of the Swing. An RBI single by Drew Toussaint brought home Sean Rodriguez. Freddy Sandoval with a double in the first inning scored on one of 2 Ben Johnson sacrifice flies, and the Colonels led the game 2-0 after 1/2 inning. Bill Edwards pitched out of trouble in the first, second, and third. In each of those innings, the Swing put 2 men on, but did not score. Did not score despite putting 2 men on in each of the first 3 innings against starter Bill Edwards. The Colonels appeared to break the game open for good in the 6th inning when they scored 3 runs and chased the Swing starter Mike Parisi. They got back-to-back doubles from Sandoval and Toussaint to start the 6th inning. A sacrifice fly by Ben Johnson, his second of the day, made it 3-0 Colonels. Then after Peel walked, Jordan Renz lined a single into left to make it 4-0. And then Billy Boyer capped the inning by singling off reliever Dennis Medina into left. That scored Peel, and the Colonels led 5-0. The Swing, though, scored 2 unearned runs off T.J. Stanton in the bottom of the 7th to make it 5-2. A huge one-out homer by Aaron Peel in the 8th inning, his 3rd of the year. That came off Michael Gross, and it was 6-2 Colonels. In the bottom of the 9th, the Swing got 4 hits and scored 2 runs. They had the tying run at the plate with 1 out, but Frederick Deloiza-Gacarni shut the door by getting pinch hitter Juan Lucena to ground back to the mound, and then he struck out Gary Hammond to seal the victory. 6 runs, 9 hits for the Colonels. We made 2 errors, and the Colonels left just 5 runners. The Swing had 4 runs on 10 hits. They didn't make an error, but they stranded 10 runners. The winning pitcher, Bill Edwards, for the Colonels, 6 shutout innings. He ups his mark to 2-1 on the year. The loser for Quad City was Mike Parisi. He's 1-2. The game took 2 hours and 48 minutes and was played before 2,608 fans on a chilly, cold Sunday afternoon. Up next on the Colonel Curtain Call, we'll have our Access Direct play of the game. Stay tuned. This is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Multitasking is today's buzzword. We're parents, employees, board members, spouses, caregivers. The list goes on. Your local Pekin Insurance Agency, Sheets Forest Draper Insurance in Marion, is great at multitasking, too. Sheets Forest Draper will find the right insurance coverages for you. See Scott Draper of Sheets Forest Draper for coverages on your home, auto, life, health, and business. Finding the right insurance is one less task for you to do when you depend on your hometown professionals with Pekin Insurance.
There's a reason Dick Ramsey is the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company, Skolgman Realty. It's because Dick Ramsey works harder for you than anyone to make selling your home easy for you. Take Dick's one-of-a-kind home trade program. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes and Dick will buy yours. Dick Ramsey provides 2 other unparalleled services: a free 1-hour telephone loan approval and a free 1-hour telephone appraisal on your property. Dick Ramsey of Skolgman Realty, the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company.
From Davenport, the Kernels turn back the swing 6-4 and gain a split in this 4-game series with the St. Louis Cardinal minor leaguers. It's time on the Colonel Curtain Call for our Access Direct play of the game. Access Direct needs team players. They need players that enjoy great benefits at Access Direct. You can join the team at Access Direct by calling 261-0260, 261-0260, or you can find out about their wonderful career opportunities by logging on to their website. Access Direct's website is www.accdir.com. Access Direct, medical, dental, vision insurance, a fun, friendly atmosphere, a casual dress code, and they have full and part-time positions available with a 401k savings plan. Team players needed. Apply at Access Direct. Our Access Direct Colonel play of the game came in the 3rd inning. Sean Rodriguez, who had a tough day at shortstop yesterday, shined all day long in center field for the Colonels, and he made the play that has been dubbed our Access Direct play of the game. The Colonels led 2-0. The first 2 batters in the 3rd off Colonel starter Bill Edwards reached on singles. With the Colonels leading 2-0, Mike Ferris hit a sinking line drive into right center. Sean Rodriguez dashed to his left his feet a headlong dive, and stabbed the line drive to take 2 runs away from Quad City. That play by Sean Rodriguez turned the tide, turned the entire game in favor of the Colonels, and that's why we selected it as our Access Direct play of the game. Sean also made a beautiful throw in the bottom of the 9th inning that cut a runner down at 3rd, and again, it really changed the entire complexion of the game. We'll be back in a moment with our complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard here from Davenport, where the Colonels upended the swing 6-4. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Ahern Plumbing and Heating now offers all their services under one roof. Whether your house needs plumbing work, you're remodeling a kitchen, want to give your bathroom a facelift, or simply need a new air conditioner or furnace installed, Ahern can do it. And you can trust Ahern Plumbing and Heating's professional installation on every project, big or small. Call on the team that Eastern Iowans have trusted for nearly 40 years. The A-Team at Ahern Plumbing and Heating. Call 393-4872.
Ahern Plumbing and Heating. Hey, everybody, gonna get on down to Hometown Restyling.
Hometown Restyling. For all your remodeling needs, satisfaction guaranteed. Hometown Restyling specializes in all of your home's interior, exterior needs. Visit our showrooms, one in Hiawatha, one in Coralville, and see the incredible possibilities. Windows, siding, sunrooms. Give us a call at 378-1221.
Colonels triumphed this afternoon behind 6 shutout innings from Bill Edwards and sparkling defense from center fielder Sean Rodriguez. 6-4, a win for the Colonels over the swing of the Quad Cities. We have plenty of baseball to report on, and standing by to give us the State Farm Major League scoreboard is Todd Brummelkamp, the Colonel Director of Media and Public Relations. The State Farm Major League scoreboard from Todd, brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Lanny Peterson, and Gary Shubat. Todd, take it away, please.
As always, thanks again to State Farm for sponsoring our Major League scoreboard. We've got, as John said, a full slate of afternoon Sunday day baseball to report on. We'll start in the senior circuit, where it was Atlanta, providing John Smoltz with a 2-1 victory today. That game is over in Atlanta. Philadelphia, an 8-6 winner against Florida. Former Quad City River Bandit Billy Wagner gets his 6th save of the season. San Francisco defeats Pittsburgh 8-3 in Pittsburgh. The Cubs have dropped one to Houston. Roy Oswalt the winner in a 9-3 Houston victory at Minute Maid Park. Milwaukee, a 13-3 victor at Miller Park over Cincinnati today. Doug Davis improving to 3-3. Arizona on top of San Diego, 3-0 in the bottom of the sixth inning. That game being played at Petco Park in San Diego. The Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the Colorado Rockies. Dodgers lead 2-1 in the bottom of the sixth. And as John and I talked about earlier in the broadcast, the last National League game tonight, ESPN Sunday night game of the week on The Zone, the New York Mets and the Washington Nationals at about 7 o'clock tonight. Over in the American League, Kansas City felled Cleveland 6-5. Toronto held on to defeat the New York Yankees 8-6, that game at Yankee Stadium. Baltimore scored 7 runs to Tampa Bay's 4 at Camden Yards. The defending World Series champion Boston Red Sox staved off a two-run rally by Texas in the bottom of the ninth to win 6-5. Matt Clement improves to 3-0 on the year as the Red Sox pick up the victory. Our Los Angeles Angels, the parent club of the Kernels, 2-1 victors over the Minnesota Twins today. The Twins threatened off closer Francisco Rodriguez in the bottom of the ninth. They scored 1 run, but the Angels win 2-1. The White Sox blank Detroit today at Sox Park in Chicago, 8-0, and currently Oakland leads Seattle 3-2. That game is in the top of the 8th inning in Oakland, and that is a look at your State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Well, Todd, thanks so much, and thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Lanny Peterson for bringing us for the 10th straight year that State Farm Major League scoreboard. The Kernels recovered from a pretty tough day yesterday, being pounded 14-2, played well today, and beat the Swing 6-4. The Kernel road record on the year is now an impressive 8-7. And as Todd and I have talked about all weekend, meet me at the stadium. The next 8 dates, the Kernels will be home starting tomorrow night. 6:30 is game time. The gates open at 5:30, and we'll have the South Slope Communications Triple Play show for you at 6:10 tomorrow evening. Our in-studio engineer was Sean. Thanks for his expert work. And for Kernel Media Relations Director Todd Brummelkamp, I'm John Rogers, thanking you for being with us this afternoon from John O'Donnell Stadium, where the Kernels whipped the Swing 6-4. You've been listening to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
This has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming already in progress.